I have a wyvern coin. I have a wyvern coin. I forget what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something dumb. I was gonna say something stupid. I got a wyvern coin. We got priorities. Forget the intro. We've got wyvern coin priorities today. Yoink. Geronimo! Break my legs.
These ancient artifacts really are a mystery, aren't they?
Hello, Eric. So today's plan, we are simply going to focus on Rompopo hunting. On that note, we do not have any immediate proper Rompopos. We have one in about 12, 13 minutes, I want to say. 13 minutes? It looks about 12 to 13. And we got another one in like 52? 51, 52? How am I doing on meal? Allharkin did immediately invite me as soon as I loaded up, so we're gonna go to her. We're gonna go to Granny. In a moment here, I'll put the lobby code up for anyone who wants to join. Something I did do was I was able to get a little bit of things changed. I was able to fix something up for Monster Hunter Wilds and Warframe. That might fix the Warframe issue of the stuttering a little bit more. So I was testing it with and without. And I think what happened is that, at least part of it, is that my computer is trying to switch over to a second monitor where there is none. Where's Granny at? So it keeps stuttering because it keeps trying to switch, but there is nothing to switch to, because, for context, I only have a single monitor for this. I use an entirely different device to keep track of chat and all that sort of thing.
Let us eat.
So, lettuce wrap. Is it like mangosteen? So it looks like mangosteen. If anyone's ever had mangosteen before.
Come by again sometime.
Thank you, Granny. This is why we love Granny. She's awesome. Just new Udra in there. Oh, there's a flame gem. I actually am going to mark this. I'm not going to do it. Okay, that's a lie. I actually am. It's only a 4 strength one. I'm not going to do it. So that was a lie. But yeah, so as I was saying, so I think part of the issue is that it was lagging because it was trying to switch over. Because I tested with and without.
Are you ready?
And I was doing way better without the thing enabled. So I think that's definitely the issue. At least partially. Obviously, we'll actually see when we get back to stream, because I can only do so much testing without it being physically live on stream. Even me simulating a stream test is only going to do so much versus actually streaming. So, we'll see. Gotta have my water blades for this. Because my music tuning blades would be really nice, but I'm not in the area with oil. I'm not in the oil basin, so I am mission lock. See if this will still be good progress, or good pro, Good. Oh, you're getting angry already. It'll be good practice. Oh, wow. Considering this is a standard 6-star one, that is impressive that I broke it already. I wasn't expecting to. Alright, old lady, let's go. I'm still under the impression that, like, most new Udras are female. Especially because we do have octopi that are, like, tiny. for the males and the females being massive, I mean, I know it's like jellyfish, anglerfish, octopi. Look at most sea life that have that. I mean, there's an actual term for it, that's sexual dimorphism. I know in the case of one anglerfish, it's basically that the male one is like 2 centimeters, it's like 2 inches, I think. And its whole thing is basically it latches onto the female and essentially parasitizes her. But in exchange, he basically provides necessities for life to be able to continue. For the female to be able to lay eggs. And in exchange, he basically gets all of his nutrients by latching onto her and basically becoming a part of her after a while. He literally fuses into her. Here, I do apologize. In my throat there. But yeah, I assume it's one of those cases that's like a similar situation. You get so many of the... I mean, to be fair, it's not necessarily a guarantee. But like, New Udra seems like... It's just one of those things that like... The males are hyper-aggressive, and the females are the small... Where basically the female ones die after laying the eggs and the dads protect them. I mean, it could be that. Could have something closer to the Mizutsune scenario. Not necessarily the exact same, but...
Almost there.
As a reminder for anyone who isn't aware, all the Mizutsunes you fight are all male. He's really losing all of his armor today, or she. But I prescribe to the idea, because I know that there's like Gammoth, for example. All the Gammoths you fight are female. So it's not entirely impossible for a monster to be only male, only female. And I feel like New Udra would be a case of most likely female only. I could totally be wrong on that one. But just given off of vibes, I absolutely feel like New Udra is female. Because like Arcbone and Raidal feel like they could be either gender. Duna feels like the males are more aggressive than the female. Like if I just took off of vibes, I feel like there's both males and females for Uthuna, obviously. They're doing their thing. But like a male Uthuna would be way more aggressive than a female one, I feel
and
like.
complete. Rewards come to me.
Because he's probably, it feels like the male one's the one that's bringing home the food. Again, this is not necessarily lore accurate. This is, oh, another flare gem, nice. This is me just blabbing what I feel like would be the case, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Obviously, it isn't lore accurate necessarily, until the devs say it is, which I don't think the devs are going to randomly pop in just to say, oh yeah, that's correct, or that's wrong. But got 2 flare gems out of that. Got a lot of them actually. If I need more, I got a quick hunt for that. I mean, for a 6-star one, only 4.5 minutes is surprising. I figured it would have been like 6 minutes at least. Oh, there's a Rompopo here now. Perfect. I must have missed one. I'm aiming for area 2. No, I'm just gonna start right here. That's fine. We'll mark this one preemptively. But yeah, so Warframe should be working a little better. Monster Hunter Wilds is working a little bit better. Until there was really too much of a change to begin with. But I was dealing with a small technical issue that required me to restart the game a few times and restart my graphics card. And now that I've turned that off, I've not had that issue, despite me booting up and testing the game a couple times too, to see if that was resolved. So I think that issue's been more or less taken care of, at least, as I said, this issue on this game's been taken care of. The other one, I'm not sure, but it's at least partially handled. Also, I just realized it would be better to do the Mizutsune blades here, but
That's our target.
I'm still gonna absolutely mug him, so it doesn't really matter. We'll see if it's a little bit faster or not. Also, it's still water blades, it really doesn't matter. It's still his major weakness. interrupted. I don't think we'll hit 800 today. I would have loved to have hit 800 today, but nah. Weren't too far off. I mean, I did a lot of hunting off stream in the past, so we're kind of on par with where we should be, more or less. Okay, well, I was gonna say if I had a flawless before, I was about to say, I'm not sure if I have a flawless or not, but then he just hit me because I ran out of stamina, so definitely don't. I know I definitely did number on him without being hit at all.
Looks like the monster left something behind.
We take it. Piercing pods. Got Harpios. Bring him down to... I guess that works too. Oh, he's getting ganked by a rat.
The monsters are fighting each other.
Goodbye! Kaboom! He just got bopped. Nice. I'm going to blast you in the face now, and you're going to like it. So he could have anywhere from 1 to a couple hundred HP. I think it's funnier for the idea that he had 1 HP and I decided to nuke him.
We're getting paid well for that one.
Fortunately, this guy's not very friendly. I say that like Gustavo isn't handling the problem though. All right, you want a tussle? You want a tussle?
Hey.
319, about the same standard. I'll be back for you in a moment, big boy. You want to toss hands? We can toss hands. We can throw hands.
I'll get ready too.
You'll be a little flying rat. You can do that. Now, where is it? One, and I'm going to mark all these. I'm actually going to go back to the gun knights and mark the other ones too. Now I actually have my good ones marked. I actually know what I'm doing. My main elements. You know, it feels like a smart idea. This I'll also mark as well because...
Looks like
Actually, let me pull out
something's
the...
burning at the Grand Hub.
Did I pull out the Mizutsune blades?
Shall we have a look?
I did. Oops. This one gets more. This one gets more. Actually, I don't even have a water one on this one, so obviously I'm gonna use that one. Let me go and put my thing now. Also, we're getting ads in like 30 seconds, just a heads up. Pin that until end of stream. Alright. Where's he at? He wanted to tussle hands. He's gonna get his hands tussled. Come here, big boy. I'm even gonna. I don't even need a lucky voucher on you. I'm just going to out of spite. All right, let's go. We're gonna start out by using dual blades. Then once he starts getting a little bit more annoying with the flying, I'm going to switch over to. Okay, game's tweaking out there for a moment. Yeah, once he starts being a little bit more annoying with the flying.
Over here!
Then we're gonna go to.
Got it on the ground.
Gun lance. That'll cover up my extra range weakness. Ooh. Do that real quick while I sharpen up.
Hovering over your head. I'm pretty good at holding monsters.
Hey, man. Goodbye, man. Ah, didn't get right before that. Shame, like.
Leave this to me. Heels inbound.
Thank you, Gustavo. See, if he's just gonna sit right here, I can hit his tail and his feet. His tail is in his claws, though. Or his poison's in his claws. His poison's in his tail moment. You're gonna come down from the sky in a moment. That's right. You picked a bad spot to fly in. I mean, good for me. A lot easier, but for you, not a good spot. So I prefer you not picking a good spot. It makes things easier for me. But you wanted to throw hands. That's what you get. Oh, okay, we're going from that then. Okay. You want to see a sharp wing shark coming your way? And here comes a giant fist. Ow. And here comes a giant pod. And here comes a giant pod. Fortunately, I didn't have enough to stagger him and drop him, but that's fine. I mean, he's nearly dead. Almost. That would have been really funny if I managed to get on top of him. To be fair, he's just dropping down a little bit. Hello, buddy. Hey! I'm breaking your cankles, literally.
He's looking weak. Almost there. Get a load
Give me the
of
tail.
these
Give me the tail.
claws.
Let me see the tail. There we go. Now you're dead. Didn't need my gun lance. I was fully prepared to as well. I had that in case he decided to be a real big nuisance. Well, he wants to keep flying low to the ground.
Paid well for that one.
To be fair, that one's more... Ooh, Raffadula. If that's more common in the forest. When he comes into the forest, I usually need my gun lance a lot more. Or in the arena. This was a tempered one, though. How quick was that? Not even 4 minutes. Wow.
A splendid job, as always.
And part of that was, I think, traversal as well. It's not even that bad.
Take a look in your field pouch later. I put all the materials I found in there.
I don't even care. I'm just
Leave
going
this
to use
me.
whatever.
Heels inbound.
Thank you, Gustavo.
Commencing the quest. Are you ready?
No berry, give me that. Extra berries and some wild seed oil. This isn't like this is the most resistant weapon he has in terms of element. I really don't care. I'm still gonna blast through him. It's a Rompopo. Like dragon resist or not. And to be fair, I don't think he's got good dragon resist. I think it's just one of those things that is just best resisted. Yeah, what are we looking at? Yeah, I know all of these are 1-star, but technically I know that this is his highest resist. We're looking at a couple different sources. Including one of them was a data mine. Not to mention the fact his armor also gives dragon resistance armor. Or dragon resist rather as well. So I know that too. Did he just take a poop? Just dodge that. Stamina. I think the one major downside of dual blades is you burn through so much stamina. Okay, you get such a huge power boost, it's worth it, but... I thought it was out of range. Further back than it was. Oh well. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, I was gonna say that animation not doing me any favors, but...
Careful. It looks angry. He bombs away.
I mean, to be fair, if I can kill Big Rompopo on my own with very little issue, this guy is of no threat. I was about to say I'm not going to get hit a whole bunch, but I pretty much always get hit a whole bunch, so doesn't matter whether it's a Rompopo hunt at tier 4 or if I'm playing Proof of a Hero. Or we can Arc Tempered Jin. I should probably do another of it at some point. Not on stream necessarily, but I should do some more on my own time. It would be good to get some more of those parts from him, the little certificates. It's like upgrade some of my stuff fully then. But to be fair, I also need ice gems from him anyway, so I have to kill more of him. Which is a little unfortunate because, to be fair, I'd probably be doing basic ones at that point. The weakest ones I can. Because otherwise that fight's gonna be 20 minutes. You know, I don't mind, but, you know, 20-25 minute fight's still a long fight. You know, that's like the equivalent of me getting from Proof of a Hero all the way up to Arkveld. Plus, if I make him weaker, I'll also have a better chance to go ahead and break his ice blades and get the ice gem off him. Because I know he's got like 1 or 2 spots that can do ice gems beyond his tail. Just you have to break the plate for it, which is frozen. I went the dodge the wrong way. Okay, this won't be as quick, but again, I'm using the worst element versus him that I could have. Even like fire, ice, lightning would have all been better. This is resisted. Like honestly, the only reason I don't think he's got an immunity to dragon is because the fact of A, he's a poison monster, so it makes sense he's got an immunity to poison as opposed to dragon. And B, we didn't really have access to the dragon weapons this early in the game when he was first introduced, so...
I made eye contact with him.
No, to be fair, I think I say that, but I think Chada might have a dragon immunity. I might be wrong on that. Let me double check.
Well for that one.
I gotta double check that. I need to fact check that. Or at least the dragon resistance. Okay, 4.5 minutes is not bad, even despite... Yeah, I was right. He's got a dragon immunity. You're a fire monster, that's not surprising. You're also immune to... Well, to be fair, I say that like the third monster doesn't have a water and dragon immunity, despite being a paralysis one. A lot of water immunity as well early on. For most of you are weak to fire in some capacity. I was gonna say lightning and then ice, water, fire, fire then ice, lightning, fire and then lightning, lightning and then technically a little bit of fire, water, because you also needed water, but that's not surprising. Ice, but you need lightning first. We'll make sure you get that. Water and dragon again, though with you, I'm not as surprised because you two are both spiders. You have a lightning resistance with a big asterisk, where if I break that mantle, you actually get a lightning weakness. Then you're immune to ice. You're immune to fire, but you're a fire monkey. You. Yeah. I mean, let me carve this guy up. I'm yabbering. I'm yabbering for
A
nothing.
little gathering goes a long way.
Alright. There's no monsters here at all. Ooh. How many of these do I have? You know, it might be worth it to actually go ahead and do the Jewoo. He's only a 3-star, and he's got a guaranteed gem. Also, I'm probably gonna, so I forgot to do it already. I'm gonna go back and mark that as a thing after, because I do need some of his gems for stuff. And it's not like I have, like, 15 of them like I do with Udra. It actually is worth it to go ahead.
Okay, let's head out.
To be fair, he's pretty elementless. I'm just gonna pull out Udra's though, just because it gives me. Though I believe he is dragon resistant. I believe. Let me double check on that. Now I'm gonna double check. Do you for one double check the element? Yeah. Oh no, never mind. He's ice. It's ice. You know, for some reason I thought he was weak to water.
Let's take a quick break.
For your dragon, I'm not surprised on. You have stuff like Guardian Rathalos and Ebony Adogaron, which are all dragon, and he's gonna be. I mean, he's the only like major non-guardian monster there. Zoshia technically is, and Zoshia is also technically his own zone, so. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Right now. Tossing gems from one thing to another. Not like it matters once I get copies of the gems that I need, I'll be fine, but... Go to the hidden cave, that'll be a little bit quicker. This should be in theoretics. Also, free might see it in the way. Now we're gonna complain about that. Extra power up. Or she'll wait on that, but.
I'll just hop off for now.
Surprise! It's me. I'm surprised I haven't made any ice blades. Bonk. Actually, no. You know why I'm thinking he's water element for his weakness? Because his weapons do water. That's why. So he's technically a water guy.
Alright, go on the offensive.
Oh, we got double wound right there. Which honestly kind of makes sense considering the fact that he's throwing out mucus stuff that hardens. And also his head is steaming right now. Like all those little golden splinters are like little mucus bits, it looks like. I'm like, that's why I got the water part mixed up, because he does water damage for his weapons. I knew water was involved somewhere, I just had the wrong part. It's not a weakness to water. It's damage to water. Damage of water, I guess. Yes, Eric, we've already established that. You're a little slow on the draw, buddy. Wow, he's dead. He's just dead.
We're getting paid well for that one.
Fortunately, I think those tentacles are unreachable for that one right there. I mean, I got another Umbra gem? I mean, I knew I was getting one. But that wasn't a reward, not a carve. Okay, he's lucky enough. I was gonna say, I know I've had the issue with Gog. We chopped his tail and we couldn't get it. And it sucked. Oh, that's 2 additional gems. That's of no complaint to me. And some cerebrospinal fluid. Nice. Only like 4 minutes. To be fair, he's only like a 5-star, so you know that would also kind of do it. But you know, I say that like the Rathalos was a 6-star tempered, and I still beat the ever-loving hell out of him.
I'll get ready too.
But I figured he would have at least gotten away. To be fair, he wasn't very close to the thing there, and I was able to get a latch onto him. But if he'd been able to move over to that little hole, he would have definitely been a nuisance to track down. Yeah, we've gone back to the nest. I know where the nest is, but doesn't make it any less annoying. But light. Radio. Let me go back over. Just will collect my goodies. Am I at 64 minutes? I might as well refill to 70. I got a free meal. Anything I want, more or less, as long as it's not any of these. Get barbecue though. Moxie, swimmer, and balance. I don't really need swimmer. I think balance just means I don't get staggered, right? Yeah, prevents you from getting knocked on your butt. Yeah, so it stops me. Oh! Swimmer meals increases attack from weapon. It's just the Mizutsune effect. Well, that's not bad, actually. I thought it was gonna be moving through oil silt and water a lot easier. Oh, that's fine. That's actually not that bad. The Moxie feels nice as well. But I got a free one of these. Probably want. I mean, that isn't really gonna matter. I'm just going for Rompopos, but I guess I'll go with a Capris meal. Well, that's Capris, because it means I'll be able to kill him slightly faster, help out more. That's a little important. So I'm gonna switch up my. Actually, I have a chest right there. I can just switch over there. Alright. Let me go ahead and change up my cosmetics here. What I want. Let's go to Ray Dow. Then let's do. I like the bear one, but it's not as cool as the Ray Dow one with the Archveld one. I might just have Omega float with me. I'll illumine him, Teddy. Look at the Jelly Squirm. Look at a little baby Ray Dow. Oh, he does his own thing. He's a little. Let's do the Chotacabra one. I really don't want to go back to dealing with that egg one. That was a miserable mission. I want the Cactor. We're gonna go Omega. It kind of fits the vibe for the outfit.
Yes.
I say that like my outfit isn't just Wesker from Resident Evil, but I got low rank selected, so let's just start with that then. 6 minutes. This one's gonna need more. Okay, if anyone would like to join in, you're more than welcome to. Just because I'm doing Rompopo hunting doesn't mean I won't go ahead and take a break to do whatever you need help with, if you got anything. I've done more or less every fight in the game to some extent. The only one I haven't beaten was Proof of a Hero. Well, not every game, but every fight, but like you get what I mean. Like I fought every monster I can handle. I've done the Arc Tempers before. I can't promise I'll be perfect, but oh, thank you for the raid. I appreciate. We're hunting Rompopos. I'm helping randoms right now with it. How did the stream go on your end? What were we playing? Oh, that was quick. Like, it's still drilling into it after it's dead. But yes, how did the raid go? Talk to me. Or did the raid go? Oh my god, how did the stream go? I said that, right? Sorry, my brain's all over the place. You think you're doing? Oh, come over here, we're going over here. You're also hunting monsters. Ah. What are you hunting on your end? You just work on an event quest, or... My brain's also over the place. You know, understandable. Understandable. No, I decided on my end that I'm just taking a small break from doing Proof of a Hero for a bit, because I've gotten really close to beating it solo multiple times. But I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
And I have been... Her face did not want to load right for a moment. Oh my god. So right now I'm going and looking high rank, low rank, seeing what people need help with some Rompopos. And I'll just do this one, I don't care. I've not done this one in a while. I mean, I was going to update the counter. We were keeping them strong, 750 plus, so... I have decided that I am going after these things until I extinct them from the game. And if they bring a variant when the DLC comes out, I'm targeting the variant as well. I want it known publicly. Which the irony is that I ended up selecting this thing before they said it was the least hunted monster in the game. So this thing's got plenty of population. I mean, to be fair, it gives me something extra to do as well. Just 'cause it's one of those things of, I love the game, but there's definitely some cases where it can be monotonous at times. So I love just having an extra little goal for myself. Alongside the standard, you know, collect every weapon and learn new stuff and all that sort of thing. Oh, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. Yeah, beyond the typical, like, learn every weapon, hunt every monster X number of times for all the titles. You know, complete the game and get all the achievements. I do want to give myself a little extra something. And this is the perfect sort of thing for that extra little something.
You earned that.
Thank you, Fabio. I don't know why I earned it, but thank you.
The monster dropped something.
I'm just here to murder things. But yeah, so what kind of monsters you hunt on your end? You just doing some endgame hunts, or are you just kind of going through the story again, doing some kind of challenge? You helping people out as well, or? So I won't deny, I'm definitely curious. You're playing the game too. And unfortunately, since I'm in the middle of streaming, I can't just go check. No, that's fair, that's fair. I don't think that jump was supposed to be there.
Want this?
Got plenty of you. Gross. Yeah, there's a point in the game where you just go, you know what? Whatever goes, whatever you feel like. So I get it completely. Trying to avoid doing any leaping attacks right now while he's really trying to...
Down. Now's our chance.
Now I just go ahead and start poking all the holes. Huge damage burst. Oh, did you do a regular Omega or Savage Omega? Both are still really difficult. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, so... It's still an achievement in and of itself, I'd argue. Ah, regular. That's fair. I mean, I won't lie. Omega took me several tries, and with other people, just for the original... I think it was the original one. No, never mind. Savage was the one I did with other people. Omega I did solo. To be fair, Omega took me like 3 tries solo. And even then, like, it's a fight and a half. Like I said, don't feel ashamed if it was just regular Omega. Omega's a tough fight, and you're gonna need to fight him anyway first parts, like a whole bunch. Heck, I'm using dual blades, which I know is a good weapon against Omega, and I still got my behind handed to me. To the point with Savage Omega, I had to go from playing dual blades to getting my first GOG weapon because of him. But where are you running off to? I'm having a conversation and you're just running.
Don't forget that small monster carvings are just as useful.
I mean, dual blades are a good. There's a time and place for every weapon. Dual blades have some very good ups, but some very big downs as well. Like, you do not have huge range with dual blades. I will say fairly. Like, as someone who's played enough dual blades, it will be more French be upon you. Thank you for the affiliate anniversary thing. I can English. Thank you for the notification for the affiliate thing there. I had it set for today for a reason. Technically went sooner than that, but I had to pick a date. I'm like, I want it to be a date that I'm streaming something I'm gonna enjoy. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate. But yeah, dual blades are good DPS burst weapon, and as long as you can manage your stamina properly, and you can go ahead and don't mind having really short range against certain monsters. Like, Uthaduna is an utter nightmare. I'm not going to sugarcoat. And then there are certain other monsters that are like the flyers that you got to be really careful. Seregios, do not use dual blades against Seregios unless you're very comfortable with getting up close and personal with him, just because he jumps around a lot. Arcveld's another one that's really good with dual blades, though, because Arcveld's basically dual blades himself. I'd say if you, like, Arcveld's not bad with dual blades to use with him. And even if me being biased and saying that because I use it, yeah, the fat tuna, yeah, the Arapaima, yeah. Though to be fair, the best element against him is either lightning or paralysis, just to keep him pinned in place. And to be fair, he sucks regardless, so just because of how big his hitboxes are. But dual blades really struggles in that department against him. But for most other fights, I've done perfectly fine. It was just, like, I can pull up every monster in the game. And I'll tell you which ones I'd recommend not using dual blades on. That's about it. No, I'm not saying that Arcveld sucks. I'm saying that he doesn't, like, the dual blades doesn't suck against him. Is what I'm saying. Like, he doesn't suck to fight him with dual blades. I've had people say that he does. It's not that bad. Yeah, I use dual blades for the first 2 phases of GOG, where he's weakest to fire, because dual blades can really get the elemental damage in there. That's also really another thing, too, with it. Elemental's really good on dual blades because it attacks more often, which means you're going to be getting a lot more elemental involved. Versus something like Great Sword or like Gun Lance or Lance. That's going to be slower. But I use him for the first 2 phases. When he's actually in the flying phase, I switch to Gun Lance then, the dragon. Base form I use... Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it as well. This one, for the base one, I use dual blades for, but for the savage version of it, unless you can really get your dodges well, or you're in a group that someone can take aggro for you and you can be a DPS, I go for a more of a tank role. with what's it called? The gun lance, the Auguring Omen one. This one's generally pretty fine too. You just have to be careful of when he's shocking stuff, because if he's in a position where he's about to shock, that short range is really gonna bite you in the behind. I just would not recommend fighting Seregios with dual blades. I'm gonna be real. He jumps around way too much. You're already having the shortest weapon range in the game, and you have a monster that's going to make it really hard for you to hit him. He's not too bad. Again, as I said, Arkveld, you do pretty fine with dual blades against him. He's basically dual blades the monster, so that's not too surprising. Gore, he's pretty big, so similar case to Arkveld. Dual blades works fine. Longonga's fine. I haven't fought him too much, but he's not exactly the most threatening. Gravios, I've done fine with. There's some cases where I'd recommend using a bigger weapon against his stomach while you're initially piercing it. But once you actually break open his stomach, dual blades really shreds through. Because that bonus damage. Especially with water on it. That's absolutely amazing. Though I know that he absolutely gets mugged by heavy bowgun with water as well. So there's that. Rathalos, again, unless he's flying low, you're going to be wanting to use a bigger weapon with bigger range. Either just something that's going to be a ranged weapon like bowgun or bow, or you're going to want something that's going to be like lance, gun lance, you know, something like that's going to have bigger range to it. There's mostly more than that, but I'm just thinking about the whole head. This guy's fine. Same situation as Rathalos. Fine, fine. Generally pretty fine. Basically the same too. I fought a Jewu earlier, though to be fair wasn't the strongest, but generally if you're cutting up wounds enough, you should be fine. Fine. There's some cases where it might be better to switch to a different weapon, but Jin Dahad for the most part, as long as you're not by yourself, I don't have any qualms with it. And even then, he's not the most threatening monster unless you're pulling out the Arc-Tempered one. Once you actually have decent gear, so you should be fine with dual blades there. Same situation as Raytheon and Rathalos. Standard. Dual blades are fine. Dual blades are fine. Just gotta be careful because you want the adaptation for the damage resist with Udra, because you're really gonna be taking that damage over time with him being on fire, with her being on fire. If you're taking dual blades, that is something to definitely keep in mind with Udra in comparison to a lot of the other monsters. So if you're doing dual blades, you just gotta make sure you have adaptation. That's a huge thing. Jarikon Monkey, you do pretty fine with the dual blades. You have enough maneuverability. He's generally not the fastest attacker. Hirabami's annoying. One of the monsters I definitely consistently switch off of dual blades unless I can knock it down. If I'm like flash potting it, I go for dual blades and just mug the thing. But if I'm using it standard, I'm just gonna go for a weapon with longer range. Nursilla, you rip through its armor. Right now is funny. Despite him being a flying monster, he has a big enough tail, and he usually does enough ground stuff that you can, especially the Arc-Tempered one, that I can actually say dual blades generally works fine against him. Rompopo, I shred through him. I'm actually slower with other weapons in comparison, just because the fact that dual blades does so much damage, especially if you use the Mizitsune ones. Those ones with the Bubble Blight active, and the Slicked Blades active, and the oil, absolutely dumpsters Rompopos. Uthduna, as I mentioned before, he kind of sucks. It's definitely possible. I've done it with dual blades. It's just you usually want lightning or lightning or paralysis. Then's the big one. With the other bear, you're not the most annoying, so you can just do dual blades with that one. Dual blades actually is really nice because you have some of those leap attacks that allow you to get cut through the little petals that fall down, along with making some attacks on it. We don't need to talk about these two, though. I mean, they're pretty... To be fair, most of these on the top row, you should be fine against anyway, regardless of weapon. If you're not going through the story for the first time with them, or it's not your first fight in high rank with them, you should be fine. But yeah, basically, dual blades' biggest weakness is just flying monsters. And that's just, again, you have really short range. And you just have this issue of stamina as well, but that's one of those things that you generally learn to manage. And even then, if you could pop a wound, you'll automatically start recovering some stamina during the animation. So, That tends to help too.
Okay, see you later.
But obviously, I'm a little biased. I'm not going to deny it's my go-to weapon for a reason.
Yes.
And I've played a couple of them. It's been a while since I played Hunting Horn, but I remember doing that in World, and then I do Gun Lance as well. I have Heavy Bowgun. I've done some stuff with that. I need to get into Kinsect Glaive. So I need to get into more. Of course, feel free to pop by again at any point. I stream Monster Hunter every Thursday. If you ever want to pop by and play with me, let me know. I'd be more than willing to. Especially since you still gotta do Savage Omega. I would be more than willing to for round 2. It might take a couple tries, but hey. No one said it was gonna be easy. But I'd be more than willing to give it a shot. And I've got my weapons more or less built, so I should be able to come up with something to help. We'll just have to figure out if I'm switching to more offensive or more defensive role.
Be on our way.
Either way, though, you have a good rest of your day.
Started,
And again, thank you for the raid and for popping by. I appreciate it. In the meantime, let's help this man out. This is Rompopo. Oh, we got a second one right there. Doesn't really matter. I jumped right into the oil. You know, we gotta love that. Two of them can be really disorienting at times for the oil. That's more of a skill issue on my end, admittedly. But to be fair, I'd also say that any monster, if you get multiple copies if you're fighting at the same time, is always going to be more annoying. Oh. I'm hitting the right one. I'm just smashing up whatever's there. Hitting the right one. And if it's not, I'm still going to attack the other one. But yeah, I've got my nice preset. My Bubble Blight one's really... I was going to say, Rompopo's only going to show up here unless it's in, what's it called? The arena, the Wounded Hollow. So 90% of the time, that Bubble Blight's going to be really good with it because you'll constantly be getting Slicked Blade. That's going to give you the extra affinity. And you're going to have decent affinity to begin with, especially if you can pop on some builds with it. Like, what do I have right now? I've got, yeah, 53%. I've got a little bit higher than that. I've gotten higher than that before. But, you know, it still works plenty. Over 50% crit is always welcome. Especially because they're really good just for mugging it down to begin with. Especially because you're tossing out so many hits with water on there. And she always only got like a 20%, 25% resistance to it compared to most elements. Get that big weakness to it. Anyway, we count the one up. But yes, if anyone would like to... Oh, that guy that popped in at the end has gotten proof of a hero done. Good on him. But yes, if anyone would like to pop in and play, let me know.
Yeah.
I'm doing primarily Rompopo hunting right now, but if you got anything that you want to do instead, I've got no qualms. Let's help. Look, I'll get this guy then. Like I've said before, I've done more or less every monster in the game. I've killed them at least once. So, it's no skin off my back. I just won't promise that I'm going to get through flawlessly. I ain't going to make promises I can't keep on that. But...
Okay, let's head out.
yeah, lobby code should be pinned still. If it's not, let me know please, and I'll have it repinned. I'm running the wrong way.
I'm counting on you.
Good job, me. It's on that side, that's why. didn't customize McNugget for a long time up until I actually started getting some of the cosmetics available. And just because I upgraded to the deluxe edition because it was on sale at the time. Really, I got it for all the sticker packs. I want a couple of cosmetics anyway, so it's worth it. I know I see a lot of people use the fire chicken one. Don't get me wrong, that looks cool, but I'm like, I want something other than that one because it's used so much when I see other people's secrets. So I decided to go with like the soldier armor one. It still looks pretty clean. I like it. Alright, another one down. I got the nice little saddle for it. Spring-tide one.
I'm always confronted by the
I always forgot the fact that you could put a pendant on it as well up until when I started actually customizing. To be fair, I really didn't customize him. He looked basically like this for the entire time outside of a slightly different shade on one of his parts. I actually took time to customize him. He looks a little different now. I think I'm gonna switch outfits after this. I like the Wesker outfit, but I'm not feeling it today. I think Fabius is just standing on the body. He's decided he's king. You know, understandable. We do like Fabius. He's pretty cool. If I don't have any of the high rank or low rank ones, I'll switch over to the tempered ones then. The only one I generally don't do is the 10-star one, and that's just because the fact of, again, I can definitely handle it solo. It's just that you got so many people that don't come in prepared that I've found it's generally not worth trying, unfortunately. As much as I want to help people on that one. Unless the mission's like 8 minutes in, the guy's solo. You know, I'll pop in, and they'll be down to like 1 life with 3 other people, and it's 2 minutes in. Or you got 2 people that don't have poison resistance or whatnot, and it's like, eh. That's a little... the star count. See, like, there's a difference between not doing the star count versus you overestimating and going, I'm gonna go into the 10-star without poison resistance against the poison monster. I think it's a little different. Because there's been some cases where I went into some star count monsters earlier than I should have, like my 9-star ones when I first got access to them. I think I actually had recorded on stream where I went for my first 9-star, got my behind handed to me. So why am I looking at this? I'm looking at my equipment appearance, not my equipment. Oh, we got the classic. This one I'm going to save for... I'll show it. This is my first outfit I ever made. I want to use it when I actually go to beat Proof of a Hero. So I'm saving it for that mostly. This one I still need to finish redoing. Got the Guardian one. This one I need to touch up a little bit, but we got the Megala themed one. We got the pink. Hello Halo, how are you? We have the shirtless one. We got Wesking Time, which is the one we were using before. We've got both of these two. What the hell I was thinking? I'm doing okay. We're back to doing some standard Rompopo hunting. I took a break from doing Proof of a Hero because I've done it for like the last 3 streams, and I've gotten really close where I've gotten it down twice to the final section where I get Arkveld, and I've even got Skulls on Arkveld, but I just haven't been able to beat it by myself. And I'm not going to just keep doing it on stream repeatedly unless I think I have a realistic chance. It's going to be, you know, it's interesting the first handful of times, but then it's just bashing my head against a brick wall. Water. I got black cherry flavored water today. This is one of my go-to sets that I like to wear right now. I really love this one. Got a little bit of the ceremonial piece from the winter stuff. Got some Guardian pieces that kind of match up. Then you got the Jindahad armor, the Arc Tempered one, and you got the Arkveld one that kind of lines up with it somewhat. We have Monsoon. And I say that mostly because the fact of, I saw this helmet the Uthuna one, the male one, my immediate thought was if any of you've ever played Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, I saw this helmet and I immediately thought of Monsoon with it, because just dye it to be the whitish color that he's got. Red helm. I got the Bale armor because it was the closest I could kind of do. And then we have Power Ranger. I don't have, because I didn't pre-order the game. I got it gifted to me at one point last year for my birthday from a friend. So I don't have the Guild Knight boots as much as I wish I could. But, I can still make do. These boots still work fine. Let's go the Arc Tempered Jin one today. Let's go for that one.
Come on over.
Actually, I say that I'm taking the Arc Tempered Jin one. I have one of Jin Dahad's themes playing in the tent.
Any quests you want to go on?
I need to do some extra GOG, though, on the topic of Tensar's Oshia and GOG. Flux for 90... Oh my god, that sounds awful. Oh, I hope you're okay. I cringe thinking about that, considering what I know what the weather's been here. So, hopefully you don't have to do that again later. Oh god, I hope not either.
Hurrying to the location now.
Especially because 70% humidity, that 90-degree heat's gonna feel like 95, 100 plus. Ugh. Like I had some... Do we have the same Draco guy from before? Probably the same guy from before, where he's doing Rompopo hunts too. Yeah, I'm not too surprised. It's kind of what I would have guessed roughly. Remember we had... Last week we had something that was 96 out, and it said it felt like 110. It's like, yeah, no, just not going outside today unless I need to. It's a little warm. Oh, geez, make sure you get some water then if you haven't already. Make sure you don't get a heat stroke from that. Still think we need a giant Kranadath as a monster. I hope we get that in the DLC when that comes out. We get a nice giant Kranadath that you could actually fight. Okay, that's good. That's good. Oh, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Alright, let me check to see. This is the same guy from before. It is! It is the same guy. That's convenient. You know, I usually don't run into the same people multiple times unless it's some guy posting the same quest repeatedly. Trying to farm some resources and getting some help for it. But I usually don't run into the same people. It's kind of rare. Some packing. Ah, right, because you still got it right. I'm just hoping it cools down for you by the time, well, I said by the time from there. Yeah, I feel you on that one. Ugh. Summer heat being the worst time to have to deal with that. Oh yes, I should mention, I'm, so you know we've been doing some tabletop sim and whatnot, right? I might be getting someone else in the group for us to play with. I'm going to have to see if he wants the game, but he said he'd consider it. So if he's still interested, I'm definitely going to see if I can bring him in for one of the times. You don't know him at all, but one of those things that Funny Man and I both know him pretty well. And even Coffee to an extent knows him. So again, not as much as Funny Man and I do. I think it would definitely be fun to get a fifth person in for a lot of the games, because a lot of our games tend to be like 2 to 5 players. or 5 players plus.
Monster down.
I'm sure that would limit a couple games that are like up to 4 players, but it's not like everyone will be around every single time, so I don't think that's gonna be an issue. And it also just helps pad things out in case we don't have anyone else for it. Also, that's fair. That's fair. I was gonna say, he's also got DVD now too, so we could theoretically run a 4-man at some point. So we got 2 options there easily. I don't know if he has Phasmo at all, though. I'll have to ask him about that. Okay, we got DVD, and we got Tabletop Sim that he'll be able to play. Just Tabletop Sim, I'm gonna have to convince him on, potentially, but the DVD I know definitely can play. Oh yeah, speaking of DVD, did you hear that they're bringing back some of the old modifiers?
Now's our chance.
I don't remember what's coming up. I think it's next week they're starting to come out. We got Chaos Shuffle, then we're getting Lights Out, and then we're getting 2v8 for a week. 2v8 I'm definitely playing on stream. I might even double up and do it twice on stream. I'm not sure, but the other ones, we'll see. I've never had a chance to play Lights Out, so I definitely do want to play. I'm playing it. I'm not sure if I'm on stream, but I'll at least do it in general. Chaos Shuffle, I'm kind of averse to, unless I'm playing in a group, because you can just get completely handed some awful perks. I've had some matches where I just couldn't do anything because I basically had 0 perks because some of them were so situational.
Good boy.
But that's how it goes sometimes. But yeah, I'm definitely game to do some 2v8. I might even, as I said, I might not even just do it on Saturday. I'll probably do it during the week even. I'll slip in an extra stream, or depending on what my situation looks like for something or other, I might end up swapping out one of my streams for it. So we'll see. I'll update the count in a second once I actually get this next mission. It's 10 minutes, it's probably dead.
Of course. Come back anytime.
So I've not really been doing that. We're at 58 now.
Yes.
Like, don't get me wrong, the idea for Chaos Shuffle is really cool. I love the idea of having random perks, but it's one of those things that I wish you had at least one specific perk where you chose one and then everything else was randomized. That way you at least had something to work with on both sides. Because I've gotten some cases where I've just rolled no Mither and Survivor and wanted to cry the entire match. And as Killer, again, I've had perks that were so randomly specific that I haven't even, like, seen them. Because they were in characters I don't even have. And then at that point, that's just a big ol' internal screaming fest. But I thought it's the luck of the draw sometimes. They did make the small change for Lights Out, giving the survivors windows of opportunity. I have some mixed feelings on that.
See you again, Hunter.
I think it really depends on how it's going to be implemented, because it might not be as bad as people are saying, but eh. Exactly, that's kind of the point. Yeah, like I've been running Nemesis with my one build, and my kill rate has dropped a little bit, but I'm still like 75% plus. But like without having some aura rating perks on him, with having just Lethal Pursuer to really focus down people, it just doesn't feel right. Or even some of the stuff like the Knight there, where I'm like, I need nowhere to hide on him. Yeah, I feel you on that one. Trickster not having certain perks really feels like a handicap. Especially when you're gonna have random, not just forget that as well, you get random add-ons too. So you might just get some really, really bad add-ons. And if you're playing an unlucky character that has bad add-ons, like Hillbilly for instance, where his chainsaw can be neutered to where it only does a health state as opposed to an insta-down. Oh god, you get put into that scenario with someone like that. That can really ruin your game, where you go from having an actual fair chance to, well, I didn't have a chance at all. So, but no reason to really worry about it if we're not playing it. So, able to finally fix up some of the issues I have with Warframe. Apparently when I fixed my graphics card up and reset it, And when that happens, it set some of my games to have monitor detection and keep trying to switch between monitors. And my computer only has one monitor, so it was causing some issues with it. It was helped stabilize the game some. I'm hoping that's like the one main issue that I was dealing with, but I don't know. Only time will tell. But at least it solves some issue, makes the game a little bit more playable and a little bit easier to watch. Because I'm like, I can put up with the game being a little stressful for me to play or not popping out the best for me to play. But if it's not a good viewing experience for y'all, then I'm not going to be happy about it. Because I'm like, that's why I'm like, I want to find games I'm going to also have fun playing. So, again, similar thing. Big thing for me, but for anyone who hasn't really watched me before, I can be very particular about some of the games that I play sometimes, but I'm also of the opinion that if I'm not having fun playing the game that I'm playing, y'all are going to notice and y'all aren't going to have a good time too. So I want to make sure everyone's having a good time, not just myself. So I think viewing experience directly correlates to how much fun you're having. Like, if you're feeling miserable, you're going to be upset the entire time. You're going to maybe get a little angry. It's going to put you in a bad mood, and that's going to put your viewers in a bad mood. And it means that anyone that joins in is going to feel a little bit less welcome.
Well,
So we don't like that either. It's also why I've been really enjoying playing like Monster Hunter as well. It's a really fun game. I'm quite happy with it. It's like if I'm dying, I mean, it can be a little frustrating, but, you know, still good times.
Right. Let's head back then. Or, actually, shall we continue our survey a while?
Oh, yes, Halo. I don't remember if I told you. I've started Resident Evil 4. It's been really fun.
You sure got here fast.
I started on Monday. Unfortunately, I only did 2 chapters, so I was just under my 3-hour usual.
Yeah.
But I also didn't know if the other chapters afterwards were going to be like 3 hours, or at least like an extra hour or 2, or if it was going to be, you know, a lot more than that. So at that point, we're kind of just guessing. But I got through the first 2. I've already redone the first chapter in my spare time. If you want one to start with, I'd highly recommend 2. 3's not bad, but 3 has some unique mechanics, i.e. the dodging, and you have an infinite knife, but you don't have the ability to plunge the knife into a target if you get grabbed, like in 2 and 4. But the remakes are a lot better, higher quality. But if you want one of the other ones, it's not a remake necessarily. 9's pretty good from what I've heard. 8 and 7 are not bad picks, though I'd say generally 8's going to be a better pick over 7. But if you want my pick personally, I'd say go for the remake of 2. It's a good way to get into Resident Evil. It introduces you a lot of the monsters you generally trying to fight. They'll be fighting in a lot of other games. And you'll have just a lot of options for weapons as well between the 2 characters. And it's not the hardest game, but it's not the easiest either. It's good middle ground. We'll do low. If we don't have a low, okay, we do have a low. So guess we don't have a low. I'll switch over to tempered high rank. I know sometimes the bundles are on sale. If I'd known you before I did, I would have sent you the way over to one of the bundles, because there was one for 2, 3, and 4. But I bought the one that was 2 and 3 for this. It was for a little bit cheaper. But that one plus the bundle for 4 was the same price. Because I bought 4 Gold Edition, so I got a couple extra things in it, which is like an extra DLC and a little bit of extra treasure stuff, as well as a few other things like cosmetics and a few bits of goodies. But the big thing I really wanted was the DLC, and it was the same price to buy it as buying the Gold Edition, and it was the same price to buy the Resident Evil 4 Gold Edition as it would be including the bonus into the why not? Alright. Alright, good enough. I was gonna try and go for the tail, but that works too. little goofy on that one, but I wasn't fully paying attention either, admittedly. But yeah, I personally recommend too. You'll get a lot of decent weapon options. You'll get some shotguns. You'll get some long distance weapons. You don't get really rifles there, but usually get some kind of customary grenade launcher. Or some kind of special weapon like that. There's always some weird weapon in each game. I know for 2 it was Flare's Spark Shot. I believe it's the Bolt Thrower in 4 is the weird one if I remember right. Then there's... I'm trying to think what the other one is for 3.
Small monster cannons are just as useful as those from large ones.
Let's
To be
pursue.
fair, there were a couple weapons. Actually, no, I don't think 3 even really had a weird weapon in it. Outside of, like, the final weapon, but that's, like, the final boss thing, which really isn't even a final boss. It's more just, like, the equivalent of doing Tier 5 Birkin. Or it's kind of just a bonus thing. Though I know 3 also had cut content, where they're missing a weapon in there, they're missing an entire section, and some of the Nemesis boss fights got shuffled around. So, I don't know if that necessarily counts. But I will say, if you take 2 or 3, 3 is definitely, like, 2 and 3 are definitely shorter. But you have a lot of content in 2, because in fact, if you have 2 runs that you can do, 2 characters, and a whole bunch of bonus content. 3 has the least amount of content of the 3 remakes. I mean, there's also the original Resident Evil remake, but it's like 10 years old. So, I don't know if that's necessarily the best pick, and that one even just has some jankiness in it still, too. Just because it's the most different, to the point where you have different inventory size, and different this, and different that, skippable stuff versus non-skippable, and... It's very different. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, it's just more because it's so different. You get into a situation where, you know, it doesn't necessarily translate 1 to 1. Though I do say 2 and 3 also end up translating differently, but that point I'm getting into semantics. We got a lot of these. I'll take this one though. That one's kind of recent, but also I was gonna say, as much as I want to do the doctor ordered one. Again, people just do not bring the proper gear for that one. It is a nightmare trying to do it with randoms. Unless like I'm in call, I'm not call. Like, unless I'm in the lobby, I'm hosting it and they're in. And at that point, we're not SOS calling. We're playing with people in the lobby. It's a little different.
Hurrying to the location now.
TK.
Special event. Get the news here.
So what's going on for you for the rest of the week, out of curiosity? I know you said you're having Saturday. We're packing up stuff and going. But what do you got going on tomorrow, out of curiosity? More packing, or... Nope, he's running away. Where do you think you're going? We're going to Narnia. We're just gonna get jumped by the Cranidats in the process. We love that. Another one I would have. Packing and cleaning. Fair enough. I wish I was gonna be like, if you want some help with that, I'm like, I don't know. I don't live near you, unfortunately. If I did, I would absolutely be game to come over and help with that, but I unfortunately cannot. Which is my instinct was to say, let me help with that a little bit, make it easier for you. I want to. Yeah, that checks out. I'm not too surprised. One of the things I will say, make sure you take photos after you get everything taken care of, so that way you have proof of what everything looked like after you finished. Just as a precautionary measure on your end. I've heard too many horror stories where you got someone that's like, oh yeah, I'll be nice to you, and then when you start leaving, they say, oh, you did this, and then they did that, and they intentionally trash the apartment. From what you said before, it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case, but I'd say at least just take some photos just for proof on your end to cover your behind.
This is where a handler's real work comes in. You go get some rest.
I know that's the cynic in me talking, but again, I don't want you ending up getting screwed over because
Good boy. You.
to be fair, I might have to switch. Yeah, I was gonna say, I've heard plenty of cases of people being like, oh, my landlord's amazing. And then you get a bill 2 months later of like, oh yeah, you trashed the apartment. No, you now owe me $5,000. And it's like, what? And it's like, obviously, if that doesn't happen, then you can just delete them then later. But
Yeah.
you cover yourself. You cover yourself
All right.
then.
Let me know if you change your mind.
860 or 61. I wish it was 861. That'd be
Yeah.
nice. Neither of these two. I'd love to, but I just don't trust it. I will say though, worst case, I might need to shuffle my schedule to move to Sunday. Which case, if I do have to move to Sunday, I will say that I'll probably do it during the day. To be fair, if I do have to, I will mention it ahead of time once I find out. Which I should know some point between tomorrow and Saturday morning. But if it is the case where I'm moving Social Saturday to be a Social Sunday instead, it'll probably be during like the afternoon then instead.
Headed
So
for the
I'm not gonna do Sunday evening, because I know that really messes the schedule up for some people. But it'll be like late afternoon or some such. But again, I'll have to see. It really depends on my end.
Target down. Aim fully locked.
Did a new job, but won't work on Sunday. Yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully, have the weekend free. Keep things nice and consistent. Got something next week with a little sister that I'm looking forward to. I'm playing something with her and spending some time with her. Nothing too crazy, but she's not been able to physically see me in a bit, and we're still trying to figure out what's going on, what works best for a time and place to be able to do so that way we can at least get a day or two. But we're trying to, at least for right now, go for something online. That way she can call and spend some time properly, rather than just, you know, call me on Discord or something every now and then. And I know she's been really lonely because the fact of a lot of her friends moved. I'll be over. Oh yeah, I bet. Gonna be looking forward to everything not being pain. Very understandable. And Kerbluey. Or not. No Kerbluey for me. And Kerbluey. Another 1,000 on top of that. We love that. Alright, bring this over. So I do that. Oh, let's put that away. Oh, nice, nice. Remind me, are you the older or the younger one? You mentioned it previously, but it's been a while since then. And unfortunately, I am an old man. I'm not, but I feel like it sometimes. To be fair, it's been a while. I've had a lot going on my end. It's not like I intentionally forget.
These ancient artifacts really are a mystery, aren't they?
I feel bad about it. But it's also one of those things the topic doesn't... See, you can't say that you gotta give off or something. Because it's like, it's one of those things of like, you give off both in certain areas. Like, I almost want to say you give off middle, but I don't know if you have enough siblings that you're the middle child. Because there's certain areas that I'm like, you definitely have younger vibes. But then there's some cases like your maturity on your end, with how you are about certain topics, that make me go, yeah, you definitely have older sibling vibes too. So I'm like, my brain immediately goes, alright, average that out to middle. But if I had to pick between the two of them, I feel like... Okay, I thought so, yeah. I'm pretty sure you didn't have multiple siblings. I'm pretty sure we had the one, but... I don't know, you give me the feeling of being... I'm like, I'm gonna bite my tongue on that one too, because no matter what I say, it's gonna come off there. I feel like you're the younger one. I feel like for some reason you're the younger one. Cause like I gotta bite my tongue, cause like I want to say younger or older, but I'm like, no matter how I say it, there's obviously an argument I can make for both sides that you go ahead and kill me for. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure. Are you? I was gonna say, if I take a guess off vibes, I think you're the younger one. Oh, he's got the nice Lollabarina drip. I like it. Almost kind of gives me Assassin's Creed vibes to what he's going for. To be fair, it's also got some pointy in there. Well, actually, it's not in there. Pull up. Up. So I'll bring a full drip, but I mean, I think it is supposed to be Assassin's Creed because he's got the sword, he's got the flame feet stuff for the skirt, for the cloak bottom, and he's got the armor chest plate or the armor arms, the things for it. The samurai armor? Maybe samurai armor. I have to look at it fully. He's moving around too much for me to tell.
May this be of use.
But yeah, if I had to pick one, I think you're the younger one, question mark. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong and laugh at me. It's okay. This is sad, but why is it very sad? Is it the opposite where you're the older one? I mean, on the plus side, you can take it as a compliment that you end up coming out... Well, no, I was gonna say, I gotta phrase that one. Ah, you're 5.5 years older, okay. Oh, I thought it was the inverse. I thought your sibling was your age plus 5, considering I know what your actual age is. I'm not going to say it on stream for your sake, obviously. Because I could have. I had the number there. I accidentally
What will
added
you
instead of
teach us
subtracted.
today,
Clearly.
my large friend?
On the plus side, at least you get to argue that you're nice and youthful. That feels weird to say. I don't know how to. I can't really phrase it without it coming off as a little odd. But I was right on the 5-year guesstimation mentally. As I said, I thought it was +5. No, that's fair. On my end, I don't mind mentioning this on stream because I've mentioned it multiple times previously, but I'm the oldest on my end, so... yeah. There's some cases where I'm like, I definitely wouldn't mind being a younger sibling, but at least I'm not the middle on my end. I'd feel like I'd be in a really awkward spot if I was the middle. Which is mine, because I either want to be the youngest or I'd want to be the oldest. And I'm the oldest of 3, so... I still need to get that coin set up back. Man, I got a whole thing of like a... So, for the office, I don't think I've sent you a picture of it. I've sent a picture a while back on Twitter when I first got it fully set up. Though it was basically empty, minus a little bit of storage in there. But
Special event. Get the news here.
Let's go. I'll follow
I've
your
since
lead.
decorated a little bit more. I've got a couple bits of decorations in there. And part of it is I have some coins that are some of my own, as well as my... Oh, that's right. I do remember that. Yeah, I was gonna say that you mentioned that clicked immediately for me. Yeah. If you'd led off with that, if you said that earlier, I definitely would have remembered that you were the older one. So I remember you and I have both made old jokes about each other before. I remember that. Just clicked for me as soon as you said. Can I please hit your stupid arm? Thank you. Tiniest hitbox in the world. Yeah, so I've got some of the stuff in the office set up properly. Office being where I stream. And I've got most of the coin collections up in... Just read a lot about it, yeah. That's siblings for you. Yeah, exactly. Typical sibling behavior, yeah. I got the... Why did I jump? So I've got a Civil War collection with like some Civil War stamps and some coins and whatnot. That was my grandpa's. But it's mine now. Since Grandma passed. Let's use some of the stickers. I had the stickers there for a reason. I've got I got a whole state quarter too. I got a whole set of state quarters. I've got a second collection of them going. But I've also got one of, what we got right here. It's the Royal Canadian Mint. Actually, I have it in my hands right now. Let me read this. So it's got one from every single district in Canada. It says the Royal Canadian Mint has struck this special series of numismatic coins in celebration of Canada's 125th anniversary of Confederation. The 12 quarters display scenes from each province and territory in Canada. Dark Coin has the honor of being the standard bearer of our nation. Designs were selected from submissions by Canadians from coast to coast. And then it says the same thing in French on the bottom right of it. It's really cool, honestly, but the glass for the thing broke at one point. I was like, I need to get a replacement. I need to get a replacement. No, just hang it up as is. And then it just started falling. I'm like, I just have to put it on this side for right now. So I have an empty frame where it is supposed to be. So I can get a glass sheet over it again to keep it in place. Which is a shame because I think it looks really cool. And I want to have it hung up with my Civil War collector issue and my like full thing of state quarters. It's got all 50 states in there. Don't really have anything too interesting on one of the other walls, though. It's literally bare on one of them. If I was going to add anything there, I'd probably add a little bit of shelving there for a couple things. And then I've got a couple little things. Well, I have storage over past the desk, so there's only much I can do there. And then I've got an embroidered thing from Grandpa's time in the military. That went to Grandma, and then Papa Croc said he didn't really care for it as much as he didn't like it, but wasn't as important to him. So I said, yeah, I'll take it. And I thought it looked good in the office anyway. So I got it nice and hung up. Yeah, I know a couple of ours have been. We had an heirloom ring at one point, or like an heirloom engagement ring at one point or another that got stolen from us when we were moving back from Germany to the US. Which sucks, because it was really nice from what I remember. And then I was going to say, I know we... say... It's just like heirlooms in this case, but I know Pops had whole collection of music. He had two of them. One of them we still have. Just a lot of like original CDs for like AC/DC, Metallica, Judas Priest, etc. But he had a second collection of them, and those got stolen as well. And I know those were very precious to him because some of them were like first editions and limited copies.
Like the end's in sight.
I know Grandma had a few things as well. And then those got stolen at some point. So some of them pieces of jewelry, but maybe there's something else. I'm trying to remember what it was. There's something very specific in there that got stolen on her end. Unfortunately, when she was sick and wheelchair bound, one of the nurses was not the nicest. She pretended she was nice and she stole a couple things. One of them stole Grandma's tablet, her second tablet that she got. She won a raffle for one. And then that one stole her tablet. That was also really frustrating. Yeah, we luckily, I was gonna say, the one thing that I'm really happy we didn't get stolen and are almost all in really good condition is Grandma Croc had a whole bunch of dolls. She was like a huge collector of dolls. She had this huge... I think I've sent it to you before. There was a huge shelf. If I haven't, give me a second, I will. I actually want to send it to you real quick if I haven't. But she had this huge shelf of dolls that she had with the cases on them and everything there. It was all nicely set up. Got stolen. Ooh. That's unfortunate. Give me a second. I gotta find it now or it's gonna bother me. Hop through. I'm making sure that when I get my graded cards, I'm gonna make sure I have them stored somewhere nice and safe on my end. Because I don't want them stolen, especially because I know one of them is kind of rare. And then one of them's an art error one. That's a one of a kind. This was 2024. Before then. I guess after then, technically. Give me a second. As I said, I'll get back to playing the stream in a second. I do apologize. I need to just send this because otherwise it's going to really, really bother me. She also had a bowl from, so it's a lot of dolls in my apartment / house. Fair enough. It's because we also have a ceramic thing that's from a brand. The logo's on it's kind of faded. From there, so it probably didn't get stamped properly. And it took us a while. It took us like a half an hour of searching up different brands. But I don't remember which one it was, but we found one at one point. It was a Japanese company. From that, went out of business in 1953 or 54. That had the exact brand on it. Because it didn't it looked like a nose at first. But when you actually looked at the brand, it looked pretty much the same. And it's supposed to be an elephant. We got a whole bunch of discs of some of the stuff of Grandpa's. What's it got? The Charlie Company 2nd Battalion 3rd Infantry Regiment from Vietnam. It's here somewhere. Again, I apologize for not doing anything on stream for a moment. I'm looking. I'm really gonna be annoyed if I can't find it. So I know I have a photo of it here somewhere. Son of a gun. It ain't showing up. Damn. Alright, well, I'll find it later and send it to you, because it's a really beautiful, really big case. So. We had, when I say there's probably $250 in there, if not more, that's not an exaggeration. There was easily 250 plus in there. And it was like tiny little ones to, like some of those, like 2 foot tall, or like 1 foot, 2 foot tall ones. And they're all set up really nicely with a bunch of glass shelves and everything. But it was one of those things that was straight up built into the house too, so. Unfortunately, we didn't have a way to really move it. And even then, it was massive. Like, I want to say it was probably like 7 or 8 feet long. And it was probably, I was gonna say it was a little bit shorter. Actually, no, it definitely was more than that. It's probably 7 or 8 feet high now that I'm thinking of it, because it was taller than me. And I know how tall I am. See, it was probably like 7 feet tall, 8 feet tall. And I want to say it's, actually, if it's not 8 feet long, it's probably 10 feet long, 11 feet long. It was massive.
All right. Let me know if you change your mind.
Got tempered Rompopo here. We'll do that in the meantime. But we managed to get all the dolls, more or less. We had the certificates of authentication with them and everything. The original cases for them and everything. We also cleaned up some other stuff there. We got some original... apparently Grandpa used to have some really old collector's toys. Like, you know Planet of the Apes? We have an original set from one of them that's in basically mint condition. It's not necessarily full mint, so it's like near mint. Like good, like excellent / near mint condition. And it's worth probably several $100, honestly, because it's from it's one of the original Planet of the Apes, like toy sets. So with its original box and everything. We got some G.I. Joes and a couple other things too. Though some of them are so old that they've kind of crumbled apart because of the older material not being super durable for storage long term. So we just have this one that's just like half naked looking. These like covered in scars. But again, it's just one of those things that the material not being as good in comparison to some of the later ones. We got one of those really early. If it was a known issue with them too. But I don't know, it's still cool stuff. Just from a historical perspective. I remember when I was showing Grandma Croc around at one point the, I think we talked about the dolls that she had at one point. Because she was really surprised for me that I actually cared about the dolls in some capacity. Because she's like, oh, you're a guy. It's not usually very common. I'm like, no, I do. Fun piece of trivia for anyone who's interested. I actually have 2 collector's dolls myself. I have 2 Maria Osmond collector's dolls. I got them back in, like, 8th grade. When I was in school. And they're both signed with certificates for both of them. One of them's 1 in 2,000, one of them's 1 in 4,000. It's one of those things I find them very interesting.
Something flew off the monster!
One of those things, if I ever have kids, I want to pass those down to my kids. I think it'd be really awkward if I have 3 of them, though, because I'm like, I only got 2 of them, so that kind of throws a wrench into things. But if I have 2, I want to pass them down to 1 each then. But I ain't exactly worried about having kids right now, so...
Moving to a new area.
If I was, I probably wouldn't be streaming right now, and let's say something else, I'm like, no, that's gonna come out a lot worse. It's gonna come off a little unhinged. I'd definitely be wrong in what I was gonna say there. I was like, no, it's definitely not that.
Don't forget to grab what that monster dropped.
We got piercing pod right here, is that explosion. Still a piercing, nice. We'll switch over to the gun lance. Wait for him to drop. I know if I hit him before he moves, then I can go ahead and actually knock him off and do some fall damage to him.
And complete.
Get more HP actually. I was gonna go ahead and piercing pot him and everything when he continued moving. Oh. All's well that ends well. How many do I have at this point? I'm really curious. Should I first check that before? I'll check the next time. So how am I doing on this? I need to update this again. 66. I'm only 2 off. There's another game I've considered looking into for stream. I don't remember if anyone here remembers when I played Demon Bluff last year. Like, about almost a full year ago, honestly. There's the demo for it. It was like the Blood playtest demo. Though there's a more full demo now with a lot more roles, which I've considered going ahead and playing it on stream. But I've said at this point, I kind of just want to wait till the game fully comes out before I consider it further. But I've seen some of the guys I watch on YouTube has played a game called Dupery, which is like Demon Bluff with different art style and a few other types of roles. What's more of piecing together rather than a circle type of thing. It's a lot more, roles are a little bit more interactive with each other. There's a lot more interactivity with it and whatnot. It's a lot more interaction rather than deduction. But it's still really fun looking from what I've seen. There's a whole bunch of extra little challenges and quirks. That might be fun to play on stream. Just have to see the game, how much it is, first of all, because I do have a certain budget for games generally every so often. So I want to make sure it's on my budget for that. And even then, I want to make sure there's enough content in it that I could play it for a few streams at the very least. So I don't want another Resident Evil 3 situation. And even then, I still feel really bad about that. What? Dodge out of the way. I still really feel bad for the Resident Evil 3 situation, because I'm like, I wanted to have at least, you know, 2 more, like another stream or 2 on it at least. So that way I had more than just 2 streams, but fortunately we don't always get that. So I would love to. So I mean, for Resident Evil 3 kind of just ends up being that it's a one-time playthrough type of thing. It has the downside of being a lot shorter than 4 without the bonus content of 2. So to be fair, that's more of a one-off type of situation, I feel like. So, that's a thing. And drive saving. And bam. Ooh, we got another one right here. There we go. Weird part. I really need it, but burst damage topples him. Too early. Hold that. And kerblammo. You're dead. I said you're dead. You're supposed to be dead. Sir, I need you to die. Exit stage left. Do not collect go. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. There we go, finally. Overstaying his welcome and a half.
And complete. Rewards
No, I feel you
come to
on
me.
that. If you need to, I was gonna say, it is still a little bit hot. For obviously, it's gonna be hot. But I was gonna say, I know you're kind of at the hottest point of the day for right now. So I mean, worst case, I don't want to encourage you and be like, "Oh, just keep putting it off." But you might, if you want to take like another half hour or something for it to cool down slightly, that might not be the worst idea. Though alternatively, you could go for like 10-minute increments, like 15-minute increments.
I wouldn't mind doing a little
You
more
could do that
exploring.
too if you really want to. Like, there's certain ways to get around to doing it. I got a lot of Rompopos today. All of a sudden. Because you can always go like 15 minutes work, 15 minutes to go
Commencing the
cool
quest.
down,
Are you
15
ready?
minutes work, 15 minutes to cool down. I'm sure that would work plenty. What's my best? I really don't have a good connection point to this. Alright, well. Just preemptively switch this then. No, we're almost there anyway, so. Ah, okay. You're talking more physically packing it rather than... Okay, I misinterpreted. Sorry, that's on me.
Here we go.
Ow. Okay, that's at least a relief. You don't have to worry about boiling yourself alive. Hopefully, yeah. Plus, you have a friend with you too, then. That'll make things a little bit more fun, a little bit less tedious. Won't just be as fun. I don't necessarily think be fun is the right word, but you get what I mean. Go. There, those stingers actually might be useful. It's a mile away, so 2 miles round trip. It sucks to walk, yeah. Ugh. For especially 90-degree heat. Feels like 100. Ugh. Can you? Okay, that's a part. I was gonna say, can I hold still and get something on you, but. Oh, that's true for sure, yeah. One of my buddies, the funny man, actually, I say like my buddies, like, not the funny man. Like, the funny man, I remember when he was doing a lot of moving himself for the old company that he used to work for. And I remember him telling me, he even popped by and he'd be exhausted. Because they'd be moving out in the 90-degree heat. And they'd be moving stuff like pianos and beds and mattresses. And just heavy stuff in general. And he'd be utterly whooped afterwards.
I'll just hop off for now.
Given that's probably a lot heavier than what you're moving, considering it was like him and one other person moving a 400-pound piano, but still it's gonna be awful either way. Hot and exhausting. Geronimo! Alright, you're gone. I'm somewhere around the number we should be.
And
So I'll update at some point,
rewards come to me.
if I'm not correct there. Alright, where are we actually at? 1,208 certificates, 1,640 hides, 1,400 toxin sacks, about 1,200 beaks, 1,370 claws. Oh, the tempered one things there, I got plenty of them. I'm never gonna need them again. Actually,
All right with you?
I should have done. Actually, I didn't know there was gonna be more. No, not on there. I was gonna say I actually need carves. Yoink, vigor bug, mine. I don't need it, but it's funny. Oh, I got Gormagala and Blonganga. Be it Resident Evil 4, I'm gonna get myself back up to the beginning of chapter 3. And like go back up to here now. The base camp so I can actually get the stuff from the guy. Extra supplies is always nice, and if I buy one of the weapons, I don't need to go ahead and make it later on. I'll just have it available to upgrade instantly, and it'll be out of his stock permanently. That's
We're
not
open
one.
day or night.
Santiago.
Yo,
Santiago wants his guild points.
don't be shy. Have a look.
Plus, these are always useful too. Extra pills and
Hope it
armor
serves you
skins and
well.
all that sort of thing. Saves me the headache of it later on. You need to make it. Saves my resources.
Here, it's all yours.
Like, getting 2 of these, that makes up for some of the stuff I've had to use earlier. Dash juice.
Here, it's all yours.
That's actually kind of rare, and I don't have a lot of them because I haven't gotten best voids. Some smoke
Hope it
bombs.
serves
I
you
actually don't
well.
have any, surprisingly. Never got around to making any. I'll take the back to
You
scale.
take care of yourself.
Alright, we're good to go now. But yeah, so I got myself through chapter 1. As I said, I missed a pearl necklace, and I was able to get that one without it getting dirtied, so it's 5k, like I thought it was gonna be. I'll mention off stream or on stream that I mentioned I thought it was gonna be 5k if it was there. I knew it was either 5 or 10k. And then I'm gonna see if I can find that one that I got dirtied by falling into the wastewater. Because I need to check to see if that lantern's swinging enough that I can potentially knock it off to the side, or if it's one of those, I'm gonna have to catch it. If it is, I'm gonna ignore it for a moment, clear out the area, and then come back to it. So that way, after I save in the one room, so I can run back over to it, grab it, and if I fail, it's whatever. I ended up actually breaking the knife. I had to get a little bit more knife kills with that, but that was worth it. Got a little bit better stuff with it, so I got a little bit more money as a whole. So, and I got an extra treasure that I missed beyond the pearl necklace as well. It was an extra ruby that I missed. At least I think it was anyway. It was extra, if it wasn't an extra ruby, it was something. You know, let's do this. I haven't done this one. Ooh. I'll actually skip the animation for it. I wanted to see that. Oh well.
Yes. All right. Let me know if you change your mind.
68, 68, correct.
Yeah.
Oh, I just noticed my little icon has a little birthday hat on it.
There's a quest that's only
For
available
the
right
affiliate
now.
thing. How did I not notice that yesterday? To be fair, I probably didn't notice it yesterday because it probably didn't show up because I didn't have it marked for yesterday. I had it marked for today. So that would probably do it. That's neat. I've never seen that before. First time for everything, I guess. But yeah, goal for today, I want to at least hit 775. But if we get past it, obviously it's no skin off my back. I love that.
Commencing the quest.
If I wasn't doing
Are you
full
ready?
attempts for Proof of a Hero, I'll actually be going to
You
800
received
today.
useful supply items.
But
Care to give them a try?
hey, we'll get there eventually.
Weapons at the ready.
I fully intend to get 1,000+ kills. And considering we still have like at least half a year until the DLC comes out, possibly longer,
Now, have at it.
I've got plenty of time to actually do the DLC, or to get like 1,000 kills before the DLC rather. I'll have to get 2,000, but I don't know how much farming I want to do off screen.
We must seize this chance.
Because that's the equivalent of 40 streams when doing 25 per. Obviously, I'll be trying to do 25, more than 25 per, but you know, we're talking average. Even if we're talking like, it's more than 30 if I'm doing 30 kills. It's not more than 30. It's 900. That's what, 33? 33 and some change. It's still 20 if I'm going 50. So. I don't know. Like, the fact that I'm still hitting 1,000 of them is still impressive. Hey, so if they go for another one though, I fully mean it when I say that if they add another Rompopo, I will absolutely
You seem to have a knack for helping.
just take the time to murder 1,000 of that subspecies as well.
Amazing. This will surely lead to a breakthrough in our
Because if we get like a
research.
dragon
I know
Rompopo
what
or
else
like a
you
fire
know this
Rompopo or
monster.
something, like a lightning Rompopo or maybe like a paralysis Rompopo or a sleep Rompopo instead of a poison one, I will absolutely kill 1,000 of them too. The entire Rompopo species and its subspecies will all be extinct. There will be no survivors. They will never show up in another game if I have my way. But we'll see. Though to be fair, I wouldn't want them entirely removed from the game. Obviously, I'd want them to be available still in the wild. But it's one of those things, if I'd want it in future games, that they're actually just totally extinct. Because I don't think it'd be fair if I went ahead and said, okay, I'm extincting all of them. They'll only be available... They won't even be available anymore for quests. You need to obviously have it for the story. And then you have the quest there. I think it'd be, you know, fine if they still popped up, but if it was like, hey, yeah, no, they're just fully extinct now. For future games. You killed so many of them that they couldn't survive. Couldn't reproduce fast enough. And we know it's theoretically possible. Like, we got Monoblos out there that nearly went extinct. And if we're talking logics, based on the size of it, we already kind of calculated that there's 1,000 to 5,000 individuals in the species, roughly. Based on the actual size of it being about, what, 14, 18 feet? Because at that point you get into the specifics being based on, you know, just like the, I don't remember the exact name of it, but it's basically that if you were to increase a creature's size by a multiple of, a multiple of 3, it'll be 9 times, or it'll be like 27 times heavier. That's also why, like, theoretically with humans, like, we need a 60-foot wingspan if we were to fly. At our current size. It's like 40 or it was 40. It was one of the two of them. Was there 40 or 60-foot wingspan? Like, we need pretty big wings. Because of how heavy we can get. That's also another reason why why bones tend to be pretty light, yes. Why birds tend to be pretty light. Or a lot of insects that can fly around.
Yes.
Which weirdly means that dragons would either need to have massive wings, which to be fair, a lot of them tend to do, or they probably shouldn't be able to fly, where you'd have a lot more of the wingless dragon types. Obviously, getting into fantasy, so that there's a point where you can be like, okay, maybe they have a lot of strength here, their bones are thing there, but I don't know, if we were talking actual grounded base world, real world science, I just kind of just used it to calculate the amount of population that the species of Rompopo would realistically have. And part of that's obviously just because the fact of a creature that size is going to need a lot more food, and we know it's getting attacked and being preyed upon, most likely. But it's also preying upon other things, too. And we can assume it's probably eating, like, mud shrimp and, like, the oil crabs and all that sort of thing. 'Cause it's got those things that could easily poke into it and get around the shell. Or could slice open the shell, potentially. So. It is one of those things.
Heading in.
Got them scythe claws. But yeah, the numbers come out to between 1,000 and 5,000 individuals. And like, if it comes down to it, if I get told, we'll extinct it, but you need to kill 5,000 of them, my answer is still bet on that. Like, if it comes down to needing to kill 5,000 of them, I will. Got the Chevy Silverado coming in. Now everyone wants to join in, apparently. Everyone's about to die. Well, at least they're getting rewards for it. Good for them. I don't know if one of them will join in time. They might not. Funny times. Guess I still might. Forgot I have that one. I love the responses. I've committed various war crimes. Sorry, and nice to meet you, yes. Lovely. I paid for those stickers. I'm getting use out of them. Not as much today on stream, but I'm getting use out of them at some point. Right, how much are we at? I'll make sure we put the correct amount, because again, I haven't been paying too much attention. My stomach is out of body. That's not my stomach, that's a Rompopo right there. It's a little arc-tempered Rompopo. Let me like second, I can toggle it on and off. So it should be at one more. Yeah, no, my stomach ain't out of my body, luckily. I just have a little thing of an arc-tempered Rompopo right by the body. I'm just thinking, nah, don't worry, it's nothing we're too worried about. I wouldn't do anything like that anyway, just because of the fact I'm like, I know there's people that have some sensitivities to that sort of thing. Also, I don't know how viable that would even be on Twitch without having issues either. But don't worry, it's just a little thing for when I'm playing Monster Hunter. I didn't know where to put the little Rompopo icon without blocking a whole bunch of stuff out, so I kind of just put it right where the model is. It'd be a little bit more obvious if my model was properly rigged, but there was the whole issue I had at one point or another. There's a whole story with it, but I had someone who rigged it, and it only works in their home language, so I have the model, but I need to have it re-rigged at some point. So if I was actually moving with the model, it would be a little bit more obvious, but it's okay. I've seen some stuff that I've second-guessed myself. I'm like, hang on, that doesn't look right. That said, if you... it's technically rigged, it's just I need to have it re-rigged, because it only works if my computer's set to one specific language, and even then, that's got some complications in and of itself. And it isn't even like I just had some issue online. It was even one of my friends who does some VTubing stuff tested it, and even like she couldn't get it to work on her end. And she's like a European from an entirely different country, so I say that like I'm a European myself. I'm not, but she's a European from like a non-English speaking country as the primary language, so she couldn't even get it working on her end. Which is a shame, but hey, I make do with what I can. I've at least got the model rigged with the eyes to recognize when I'm talking, so you can at least see with that. Which I'll take as better than nothing, for sure. That's enough grapes on my end, though. That's it. If you do want to pop in at all and play, feel free. If the code should still be pinned. If it's not, let me know. But I don't mind taking a break from doing some Rompopo hunting. Alright, sounds good, Halo. If you need anything, let me know. I don't know if I really can't help you, unfortunately, but, you know. Anything, what's the thing I was looking for? Say, break down. I was gonna say. Look, I know I got the Rompopo with the gold. No, I feel you on that one, though. And I said, I do hope you feel better. And that the heat isn't miserable for you later. I got the next Rompopo on this. We got a 9-star Udra, that's not bad. Do I have any good ones that are saved? They're double ones. Yeah. If I do, I'll go do one of them. While I'm waiting. That is a double one. We got 2 double ones right here. Standard. I'll do this one then. Just because I want to get that one out of the way. Because I enjoy the tempered ones a little bit more. They survive for a little bit longer. Let's knock this one out. Yeah, basically it's more of a PNG type of thing. It's technically a VTuber model, but it functions like a PNG. So it's like a weird in-between right now. I technically classify it as a VTuber for the sake of... because it's technically a VTuber model. But it's one of those things that it's like a VTuber with a big asterisk. Because there's not really a term for an in-between, because it's either a PNG or a V. I need to find the other one. That one's the one that's fighting. Move over to that one. We'll come back to the main later. Because the main one is the one I'm going to do second. I got the two of them for a reason. Hello, Udra. Goodbye, Udra. Never mind, I'm going up this way. Going right by Udra again. I mean, as long as it's one of those things that it's intelligible about what I'm saying with that, that's under...
I'll just hop
Because, like, you get it at least. There's not too much confusion. That's the important part. Why are you going I was gonna say, if you were going
Most cephalopods are
straight...
incredibly intelligent. We may even be able to communicate with them.
I don't think that cephalopod wants to communicate with me outside of trying to kill me. So we're not gonna go bother with that one right now. I was gonna say, if Rompopo was going straight to Udra to throw hands after getting mugged by a Raytheon, that would've been hilarious.
Here we go!
Something flew off the monster!
Take your hand. For the free stuff. Okay, we've been slowly chipping at the Rompopo count. Oh well. This is definitely not the only thing I do. I still need to go back and do some more of the Savage Omega, because I still need some of these 2.0 nodules. Some of the armor and whatnot on that. Okay, so you get the male and female suit, but I still need the parts for, and I want to get every cosmetic eventually. I got to win a lot of Savage Omega at some point. But to be honest with you, I've been dreading, because that's been pretty miserable. I know people have said it's worse than Group of a Hero, which I don't know if it is or isn't. I remember it taking me a long time to get a whole bunch of group of people. And we all had good builds too. It was still rough. But yeah, I'll have to take care of it eventually. I gotta start finish here myself. Like, I'm taking a small break from that. So I've done it for 3 streams without success. That said, Queenly, if you do want to pop in at some point and you have something you want to do in the game, let me know, because I'm more than game too. Like, I'm more than willing. I don't mind taking a break from doing Rompopos for a bit. Look, I'm hitting at least 25. I'm quite happy. Alright, that one's gonna be stocked. The next one might have enough damage. Built up. There we go. I figured 3 was gonna be enough. It's usually 1 or 2 the first time, then 1. Poking the break, I see. Dr. Pepper's pretty good. Have you ever tried the coconut Dr. Pepper by any chance, like the blackberry one? I didn't know they had those flavors for the longest time.
Check your field pouch for them later.
I remember I got stuck in the airport a couple years back. Back in like 2024. Or 2025, I got got trapped in the airport overnight because my we had a huge blizzard, and I was stuck over in North Carolina, over in Charlotte for a long time, like for the entire night. Did try the blackberry one that was surprisingly decent. And then they made a coconut one at some point, and I was like, oh. I love coconut too. Coconut's really good. I know coconut's not for everyone, but I'm a coconut fiend when it comes down to it. It's a lot smoother than you would expect. It's a lot smoother than the typical one. It's one of those things that it's more in the aftertaste. Like, the coconut's very prominent in the aftertaste. It's a little bit in the main taste itself, but it's definitely very prominent in the aftertaste from what I remember.
my way there.
So another like a few ones like I've seen. I know the strawberries and cream one wasn't terrible either, but I've not had that one in literally years. I would definitely recommend it. Yeah, it's my favorite one out of the flavored ones, personally. They've had strawberries and cream, blackberry, coconut, and I'm trying to remember what the last one was. It'll come back to me later. That was a while ago. Maybe just Taste Dr. Pepper's pretty good too. I'm taking a soft drink. It's one of my go-to ones. I think it was an orange one. It might have been an orange Dr. Pepper. That or like a peach or mango one. Cream soda's pretty good too.
Moving to a new area.
Speaking of cream soda, did you know that cream soda originally gets its name from the fact that it's supposed to reference ice cream? That's why it's got that creamy consistency. Looks like ice cream soda, like vanilla. I think there's some kind of orange one. I don't know if it's orange or mango or peach or what it is, but I remember there being an orange bottle one for Dr. Pepper.
I don't feel so good.
But yeah, if you like cream soda, the coconut Dr. Pepper has a very similar kind of feel to the drinking cream soda. Blast that and tail. Try to rip open that. Oh. It might have been the orange cream one. I know there was some kind of orange one that I tasted. It was an orange. Well, I don't remember if it was like mango or orange cream or something. That's fair. I'll say it wasn't my favorite one personally.
Almost there.
But it wasn't terrible.
All right. Perfectly plundered.
Switch over. I should still have my charges for my gun lance. Oh yeah, 100% from the flavored ones. I mean, I love the original one plenty, but if I'm picking a flavored one, I'm going for coconut 100%. It was really good. As I said, I'm a very big coconut fiend. Like, I have no shame in saying it. I know plenty of people don't like coconut, and I can understand why. I know for some people it's like too flaky. If you have stuff like coconut flakes in there. But then you have stuff like coconut cream pie, really good. It's one of those things that like most foods, coconut really depends on how you make it.
Good work. You're performing in top form
And like what you're
today.
doing. Like I know toasted coconut can be a really good topping for some stuff. Versus like having a whole bunch of it basically in a mouthful. For certain things. So, again, I think it's one of those things that it varies. Exactly, everyone has their own options. I mean, obviously there's plenty of stuff that, like, for example, I don't eat steak. I don't like steak in the slightest, but I know plenty of people do. But, like, I'm not gonna judge them for it. And I know some people probably judge me for it, but it is what it is. I just never liked steak in general. I've tried it whether it's like rarer, I've tried it whether it's like typically more like well done. I've tried some in-betweens, I've tried some different ways where it's Like buttered steak, I've tried it with like a nice glaze on it before. Like the glaze part was good. Don't get me wrong on that one. The glaze part was good. Just I didn't like the steak itself. But I've also always been really picky about meats. Like I'm pretty close to outside of like eating chili and pepperoni. I'm basically a politarian. Which, again, I'm not gonna shove that down anyone's throat. I think it's a little ridiculous too. Just one of those things that's my dietary preferences.
Hunter, listen to this new event.
Yeah, I get broccoli and Brussels sprouts are another one that I
Let's
commonly
get
see in
fired
terms
up.
of vegetables that people don't like.
Monkeys run off.
Heck, I don't like Brussels sprouts, but I do like broccoli myself. But I used to not like broccoli when I was younger, so you know, completely understandable. Again, it's one of those things that's just not for everyone. Everyone has different tastes for stuff. Like I could probably make. So you are aged now. Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, I'm not the oldest guy in the world, but I know Grandpa. But at the same time, you know, I'm not. I ain't 10 where I didn't like broccoli when I was 10.
Perfect. Aggressive as ever.
So those things of tastes change and all that. You. We'll grab it actually. I was lucky. First the monkey was gonna pop me then. A little blast. There's a couple of different types of cherries. Like, I was gonna say, are you saying like standard cherries? Or are you talking about like sour cherries or like sweet cherries? Or like any cherry? Cause I'm curious on that one. As I said, standard ones, okay. Yeah, I knew someone that hated cherries as well for a while. Then he tried sour cherries and absolutely loves them, but he won't eat the sweet ones still. Bottom. Oh, that's a cool looking sacred, I will say. I do like that one. That one's cool looking. Looks kind of like a dragon.
Good boy.
Shout out to whoever made that one. They got good taste. Alright, well, we're at least meeting our quota there. We'll be fair. Okay, I have a question for you. Have you ever tried durian by any chance? When you say that you only hate orange, I'm really curious. Cause like for me, I know there's fruits that I'm not really picky on my fruits for the most part. But, and even if I am a little bit picky on them, there's usually some way that I can eat it that will be fine. Durian's very divisive, I will say, because some people are like, oh, it tastes really good, it's very creamy, and it's got slight sweetness to it. And then there's other people that are like, it tastes like garlic when you eat it, and it smells like rotting trash. See, for durian's one of the few foods that I have no intention of eating ever. Like, I don't care if it tastes amazing. I just have no interest in eating it because I know the smell's bad regardless. Even if it's not rotting trash bad, it's still not very pleasant to the point where it's banned in multiple places like
Adapting to the
airports and
situation.
buses. Just because the stench is awful and hard to get out. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not just the smell. Because smell can influence things, visuals can influence things. If there's something that looks icky, obviously, you're gonna be less likely to eat. There's also texture. Texture is a big thing that people forget. So with autistic people. If you have someone that's autistic and is picky, that's usually the issue. And I say that as myself as an example. Like, I can be very picky on certain things, but for me, the biggest issue I have is texture. Like, there are certain things that I love one way, but I will not eat another way, just because the texture on it is awful. Like, I have no shame in saying it. So this guy's named Old Man Yowie. That is an interesting name. Not the worst one I've seen. I've had one that I've had to go ahead and straight up blur before. So there's that. Sure. Which melon are we talking about? Because there's so many different types of melons. Like there's like cantaloupe, there's honey like honeydew, there's watermelon, there's sugar melons. Which with sugar melons there's like multiple different types of sugar melons. Watermelon's actually not that bad. I will say it can be a little gritty at times. I do have a small gripe with that, but I actually quite like watermelon flavored things. Like, I've had some nice fresh watermelon juice. It's pretty good. It's more just the fruit itself has a bit of a gritty texture. It's not the worst. Oops. I know, pretty shocking in that regards, because... not necessarily what you would expect. It's not my favorite, but like I do like a good watermelon kind of thing there. Heck, I had a nice watermelon strawberry smoothie before. Oh my god, that sounds amazing right about now, especially in the summer. Oh my god. What I'd do for a nice watermelon strawberry smoothie right now. Toss a little bit of banana in there too. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I'm making myself hungry now. Oh, I'm making myself hungry now. That'd be nice and refreshing too. Got Attack on Titan fan right here. We got Levi Ackerman. Well, see, I don't want Domino's. I kind of want a fruit smoothie now. That's the problem. And I know I don't have a watermelon in the house, so... Just some banana, but that's about it. Maybe after stream I'll go make myself a nice blueberry banana smoothie. That sounds pretty good. I might do that. On the topic of the Big Mac, not necessarily the Big Mac itself, but you know the Quarter Pounder, right? Interesting trivia fact for you. So, there was a burger called the Third Pounder at one point. You know why it didn't stick around? This is actually really funny too, when you understand the reasoning for it. But there was a burger called the Third Pounder at one point, And because the fact that, like, despite it being actually more meat, where it's 1/3 of a pound versus 1/4 of a pound, it was less popular. And when people were asked about it, they said that 1/3 was less than 1/4 of a pound. Because 3 was smaller than 4. Which, yes, that is true, except when it's 1 over something. Where 1/4 is actually worth less than 1/3. Because 1/4 is only 25% versus 33%. So they eventually just took it off the menu. But again, it's really funny because there totally could have been 1/3 of a pound on that. But nah. People wanted the less meat one despite the fact that it was better. It's not a banker, it's just more I know some weird stuff. Actually, I was gonna say, if you've ever seen my schedules, then you know exactly what I'm talking about with some of those. I find weird, assuming I don't have anything special to put on there, like the one time that I had like an extra little piece for me that someone made. Like, I showed that for like a week or two. But usually what I do for my stream schedules is on the right, I have some kind of weird fun fact of the week. So it'll be like anything from the reason that bananas grow upwards, or
Feel free to use all the supplies.
like have that moon shape,
No
like
reason
that
to be
crescent
frugal.
shape to them. Or like, for example, this week, I believe it was this week. It was either this week or last week. The reason that butterflies, like monarch butterflies that have parasites, will intentionally lay their eggs on certain different types of plants, other than the typical milkweed, because they know that the caterpillars will eat them, and they'll get rid of any gut parasites that they have, because it poisons the caterpillar is fine, but it poisons the parasite, and basically the caterpillar can basically poop out the parasite then. But there's a specific term for it with bananas about why they grow upright. It's like geometric somethingism. I don't remember the term off the top of my head, but there's a very specific term for it. I'm not necessarily a genius, I just like looking into fun facts. And I think it's one of those things that if you're taking the time to look at the schedule, the least I can do is try to provide you something interesting. So I usually kind of put some kind of fun fact for the week on my schedule if I don't have any art or anything to showcase. Plus, I got a whole gap on the right side. Then I want to use something with it. But yeah, I'm like, I think I put fun fact because, you know, hey, maybe you learn something new for the week, and then it's something cool. Oh, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. There's a couple other ones that I've had. Honestly, if I were to go browse the... I have some stuff for holidays, usually. Like, I had something for the 4th of July for the US. I've had one for Christmas before. What else do we have? I'd have to go on Twitter and look through them. I usually save over my stream schedule over the previous one each week. Just because otherwise it'll take up a lot of space. Fair, not as much as the videos, but... eh. Alright, let me go ahead. +1. So I saw quest got posted. Let me see what we got. Never... or done waiting. Meow. Make sure I'm right about. I'm at 777. Am I in 778? No. Alright, close enough. Got Skeletor. Hey, man. I can't do a good Skeletor impression. Oh yeah, they remade Masters of the Universe. I never saw. I mean, I've seen part of the original. I've seen some good Skeletor memes, but I haven't seen the movie when they remade it. I wonder if it's any good. Because those tend to be really hit or really miss. Alright, what we got quest-wise? Let me see. I also know my thing there. 42 minutes, that's fine. Quest. Lobby quests. What are we looking for? We got a bear. Ah, specific bear. I see. Hunt.
See you again, Hunter.
Fortunately, I can't join, or else I would love to join that one to help out.
Ooh, I'm liking this energy.
Okay,
Enjoy the
these.
best
Oh,
ramen
I'll take
you've
that.
ever tasted.
What do you mean what type of videos, if you don't mind my asking? Just for a little bit of clarification's sake. Oh yeah, there's like that new Spider-Man movie coming out. Right, I forgot about that. Before I say forget about it, and I've seen a couple ads for it. Literally, I saw one literally earlier today. I'm sorry, I have 20 different things going on in my head. Between streaming, reading chat, and just other things idly popping into my head and passing through here and there. Yeah, I imagine it'll be pretty decent, yeah. Usually the Spider-Man movies tend to be pretty good. Though to be fair, I think it's one of those things that most movies have the potential to be good, just as long as they're not forcing it down someone's throat of making an extra sequel. Like, well, I went with my family to see, because both of them wanted to see the new Minions movie that came out with one of my little sisters, and so I said, okay, we'll go see the Minions movie, the Minions and Monsters movie, and it was pretty decent. It wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst, but it was pretty decent. But like, we saw the trailer for Shrek 5. Oh my god, they butchered Shrek. Like, they got donkey cursing now, like on the regular basis. Shrek just doesn't talk the same way that he used to, either. Like, Fiona seems pretty okay. I can't really say anything about the children because of the fact of they're kind of, like, you have the babies from the previous films. But, you know, I'm kind of indifferent to them because, you know, they don't really have anything to go off of. They haven't made their own appearances. But it's like, it feels weird to have, like, Donkey cursing and doing a lot more things. Because one of the big things is Donkey had a very specific way of talking, but he didn't really curse. And then seeing one of the trailers with him dropping some heavy language. It's like, dang. Something about that just doesn't feel right. It's one of those things that's like, it's integral to his character. Yeah, talk about Shrek, yeah. Because you get that Shrek 5 movie that's coming out. It's like, I think, like, honestly, I think, we don't talk about the third one, like, at all. But 1, 2, and 4 are a pretty good trilogy. We just don't count the third one. Because the third one isn't the worst movie, but, like, it's definitely the weakest one by a noticeable margin. I don't think it's as bad as everyone says, but, like, it's definitely my least favorite for sure. Though I will say the common consensus that the second one's the best movie, I definitely agree with. I think, as much as the first one is a classic, out of the other three, with 1, 2, and 4, I think the order goes from the best to the worst, being 2, 4, and 1. And even then, I'd still say 1 is vastly better than 3. Like, if 3 is like a 5, I would say Shrek 1 is like a 7. Because I think, like, 2 is like a 9, and I think it's like a 7.5, 8 for... Actually, probably closer to 8 on that one, I want to say. Like 7 2/3, 8 for Shrek 4. Though, to be fair, yeah, I was gonna say, I think this feels pretty fair.
Yeah.
It's just the third one it feels very jarring, and it doesn't feel... It's kind of like as I issue that 5 has, where 3 doesn't feel as much like Shrek in certain areas. Where you're following a different guy instead for most of it, which is fine. Like, I would still say it's like a decent, like, 5 out of 10. But it's not Shrek 1, 2, or 4. Like, it's missing a lot of the good story beats. It's missing a little bit of the humor. Some of it feels a little forced in comparison. Which is a shame, because 3, I think, had huge potential to be amazing. Like, if we were to go back in time and have them make a few story changes to make Arthur not as obnoxious and to change up a few story beats, that way it felt a lot better, I think 3 has the potential to be... I don't think it'd be as good as Shrek 2, but I think if it was done properly, it could outpace Shrek 4 and 1.
Let's get fired up.
At the very least, it has the potential to outpace 1 if it was a little better. And I don't say that lightly. Like, I think Shrek 1 is still very good. Because I know the first 2 Shrek movies are in the Library of Congress. Because of their cultural importance. So if I think it has the potential to outpace that, I think... I mean, obviously, that's just my opinion, but... I think it has the potential to be really decent. It's just, as I said, I think they missed the nail on a few spots. But, like, there are by far worse series out there. Because, like, if it's worst one, I'd still say it's a good 5 out of 10. Like, I've seen movie series that are way awful in comparison. So, 5 out of 10 ain't bad. It's just that's one of those things that you feel in comparison when the rest of the series is just that good in comparison. It's like Terminator. Terminator 1, Terminator 2, really good. 1 after 2, we don't talk about. Oh, I love cinema. I'm not the biggest cinephile, but I can appreciate movies. I mean, at the end of the day, games, stories, movies, they're all basically the same thing when it boils down to it. And it's that you're telling a story. Oh, I was gonna say book. I say book. Like, book, stories, and games at the end of the day are the same thing when it boils down to it. But the difference is that it's the media form that you're using for it that's different. Because games are interactive stories. Books are stories that you're physically reading on a page that someone else wrote. And movies are visual stories when it comes down to it. Like, I know it's a bit of a simplification down to it, but, you know, when we're talking down to the basics of it, all 3 of them are pretty similar in their own rights. I don't remember which one I need to hit, so I'm just going for one of them. Nope, the other one I gotta go for. Works for me. I'm also a really big fan of horror movies, personally. Nightmare on Elm Street, great movie series. Again, we don't talk about the 2010 remake. First 2 ones are really good, though. Though they did get a little trippy with it. I like the second one more than the first one, personally, because the second one they did get some... Or the first one they did some really trippy stuff at the end of it. Which is a little... eh. So the ending's a little out there, but... I do think the first one's still pretty good. And even then, the second one's still really good, too. I've not seen Evil Dead, admittedly. I still need to. It's on my list. I just haven't gotten around to it. Conjuring I've seen before. It's pretty decent. It's not my favorite, but it's not awful either. I've heard some really bad jabs at it before. And I think they're a little blown out of proportion. Oh, I've seen The Conjuring. What we got? Friday the 13th as well. Friday the 13th's not bad. It depends on which movie. I think some of the earlier ones aren't too bad. As much as some people have poked at them. But like the Jason Universe ones from later on, some of those tend to be a little bit more hit or miss. I think some of the classic ones tend to be a little bit better. I would take a hot take, though. I think Killer Clowns from Outer Space is overrated. Don't get me wrong, I understand why it's a classic in terms of horror, but I think it's a little overrated, personally.
All right. Let me know if you change your
I like
mind.
them food. I'm gonna find enough. Yeah, I watched Conjuring.
On over.
Oh, Last Rites. I've not seen
Hey,
this.
Hunter,
I've not seen
yes.
Conjuring Last Rites. No, I've seen the original Conjuring.
I can help you source materials.
Oh, we're full. I need to grab all these.
The people from Azu's told me to tell you they said hello.
Yes.
What's another one I really like? Child's Play's another one that's not too
Do
bad.
you have any requests?
Some of the later ones really get out there though, where I'm like, it doesn't really feel as there. It turns it more from a horror movie into a comedy, in a way, which I have mixed feelings on. But some of the original ones aren't too bad. Seed of Chucky is where we start getting into some weird territory though with it. I guess that's the part where I start calling it quits. Yeah, I'll go now. Empty plates. Actually, I wouldn't mind taking those, but I don't need to. Got a lot of. I'll take one of the biscuits, I guess. It's fine. I got plenty of fire opals. I'll get this for this one. Chagora, fluffy egg, textiles. I still need some wyvern sprouts.
Okay, come back
Because
anytime.
I have to actually wait for a body to rot while carbs were still available on it. It has to specifically be a monster body. So that might be a bit.
Yeah.
Low rank ones, if not, we'll move back to the tempered ones on high rank. Okay, we'll do this one then. It depends what you just find a scary experience. Because there's a little bit between like scary versus me getting startled. Like horror, if we're talking like horror movie type scenarios, I don't think thank God I've never been in one of those kind of scenarios. Closest I've been was we had a tornado that was kind of close at one point, where we had a big warning for that, and we were all like rushing to get to safety and all that sort of thing. But like, I don't necessarily think that counts in the.
On guard.
I don't necessarily know if that counts for the purposes of the question though, because it's less scary in terms of scenario and more nature.
It's life or death.
So I don't know if that necessarily counts for the purposes of. I'm talking a scary scenario that's happened to me. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I mean, this isn't like flexing or anything. I live in a relatively decent neighborhood. So like the worst that's happened to me is I've been like startled before, but I've never really had like a door randomly open that wasn't supposed to, or you know, anything kind of really scary like that. And I live in a relatively decent place. No, I was gonna say I still got plenty of light outside. I'm not the only one home right now anyway.
Real work comes in. You go get some rest.
You kind of beat the ghost, yeah. I've been jump scared in a good few games. I've had some Phasmo jump scares before. I've been jump scared in Resident Evil. DBD literally last night, we had a Huntress that was undetectable when I was playing DBD with a couple of the guys. Jump scared my ass. She had the one Wooden Fox add-on that makes her undetectable for 30 seconds after reloading in a walker. So she was undetectable for like half the thing. And she grabbed like 2 of us off generators, and she almost got me off a generator once. Surprisingly, Resident Evil wasn't too bad on my end. And the one time I got jump scared in Resident Evil 4 was for the dumbest thing. I was turned around, and then I randomly got hit, and I see the thing there, and I have like a delayed response because it processed for me. But it startled the hell out of me when it happened. I was gonna say, if you actually go back to the Monday stream, you can actually see it there. that was when I played it. Since it's not the most thing there, I tend to have a little bit I kind of have a subdued reaction to a lot of horror stuff, admittedly. Heck, I have jump scare things. I've had people pop the jump scare on me and startle me, and it's never really been super crazy, but I've had people get me with it before. And I have, because I have one, let me check, what's my points? I want to tell you exactly what. The one that's the marked as jump scare for 2.5k channel points. I've had that one popped against me and actually get a successful one on me before. And then also with the Resident Evil one, do be aware, apparently I didn't find out that my, so if you see the screen's black a little bit for the beginning of it, and the little box that I have for the games, bear with me on that. Because I had it set up, I restarted my computer and OBS deleted Resident Evil 4 from the settings, and I didn't even realize.
What an impressive physique.
For like not 5 minutes, like a little less than. But like, after a few minutes, after like 5 minutes roughly, I have it reattached and we're going through. So every time, like the actual part of me actually playing the game, but like this, the most you would miss is me just talking about some of the visuals or me making a couple changes to my settings so that the game is not as loud and that the game is not, you know, I want to make sure it's a decent viewer experience. I don't want the game to be ear blisteringly loud, or it's not going to be so bright that it's going to be obnoxious, or too dark that you can't see anything. So the most you missed was the setup phase, more or less. So all the important stuff you can actually see. I did get beat up really bad in the fourth one, though, in the first section, because I didn't realize there was a house you were supposed to go into. Because you can do the entire invasion that happens outside of that house. And if you move into the house, you get a cutscene for it. But the game never prompts you inside of it. Yeah, it's one of those things. I stream generally on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. I almost have Monday, Wednesday, Friday. No, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, I tend to stream. To be honest with you, this one's just been a kind of a chill week to begin with. And also, I love playing Monster Hunter. It's a very chill game for me, especially with just me just ganking Rompopolos. It's not like me needing to be on my feet when I'm playing like DBD, where I've got to be making call-outs, or I've got to be, you know, focusing if I'm playing Killer, or, you know, me having to look out for zombies and potentially dying in Resident Evil, or, you know, me playing Warframe and just having to find out missions and going there. I play DBD, yeah. I usually play something on Saturday. It's a social-esque game. So it's like tabletop simulator with some board games, DBD, Phasmophobia. You know, some kind of multiplayer game generally. One that has multiplayer capabilities. I got Pokemon Champions as well for that one. Though if I was to do that, I'd have to be by myself for that. Well, Phasmophobia means fear of ghosts. Which is pretty accurate because you're ghost hunting and trying to identify the ghosts in the game. While they're trying to kill you. But yeah, for DBD, I'm actually a Spirit main, weirdly enough. Though I've been playing a lot of Knight and Nemesis as well. Knight's my second most picked character. Then it's Wesker, and Nemesis recently. From the last event, I started playing Nemesis about halfway through.
Hurrying to the location now.
And I've been doing really well with him.
We've been issued supplies. Feel free to take a look.
I've gotten some cases where I just knew I was going to lose if I got into a really big map. I've had some cases where, yeah, Resident Evil Nemesis, yeah. He's really fun to play. He's an incredibly strong killer at close range. It's just he lacks mobility. And if you get certain maps that are just really big, you just lose. I've had some cases where it just happened. And it's very frustrating when it does happen. Especially survivors just blitz gens and you don't have a chance to even play. You know, the game's over in 5 minutes. Actually, one have happened last night. But I've had some also pretty decent matches too. Because one of the big things with him is you really wanted to get him to tier 2 as fast as possible for the whip. He's 4'6". You can use the 2 zombies that he has for intel. You need to recognize if the thing of him chasing someone, because even if they're not actively chasing someone, someone had to come into their field of view for them to actually switch to the animation of chasing. That's the big thing. But you want to get to, like, Marvin's Blood's a really good add-on. I know some people are like, oh, it's not that good because it's one less whip to get to tier 2. You know, that's not that big a difference. Well, I mean, you know, you have, like, what, 2 or 3 less whips for tier 3, and 1 less whip for tier 2. Tier 2 is the big one for Nemesis. Not only do you get from 9.5 to 11.5 meter range, but it allows you to break breakable walls and pallets with your whip, which is faster than you smashing it. And that's very important because even if you miss a survivor vaulting one, if you miss a survivor vaulting a pallet, you can still break the pallet then. So getting that tier 2 is major for Nemesis. The tier 3 is just a nice bonus if you can get it though. Plus getting the contamination, I like using the syringe alongside because I know that there's only 4 4 vaccines in the entire map. And that's 20 seconds extra bought because it's 2 seconds to apply it, but it turns it from 2 to 7. Ah, that's okay. You enjoy your bath. Have a good one. And again, thank you for popping by. If you want to pop by in the future, feel free. Since I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. Thursday's usually just my Resident Evil day. It's my Monster Hunter day. But again, I should have a Twitter thing there. If you want to ever see my schedule, feel free to check out the Twitter. I have a Discord as well. You're not under any obligation to go ahead and join it if you don't want to. I just mentioned it just in case. Yeah, I have a Discord. Give me 1 second. I'd love to send to you right now, but I'm in the middle of a mission and I don't want to get knocked, essentially. That's true. That's true, yeah. If you do !Discord, it should give you the prompt for the Discord, the link, and I think I still have it on my thing anyway. Okay, I just killed that. Let me do this.
I don't know what would have
There you go.
happened if you weren't there. The monster
Again,
dropped something.
you're under no obligation to join. Feel free if you want to. But it's there. But again, you have a really good bath. And again, thank you for popping by. I appreciate it. Company's always welcome here. Actually, on my end, we might be wrapping up stream here pretty shortly too, actually, given the time. So actually, it's not that bad of a time. So it works out nicely. Alright, let me go check how many we actually had as a whole today. Okay, 83, that's not too bad. Bing, 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 bong. Is it possible that... Ah, yeah, I can send you one after I finish up. I think I will be wrapping up here anyway, so give me a second. That's it. I will be wrapping up here. I'll be back on Saturday. I'm not sure if we're gonna do DBD, Phasmo, Tabletop Simulator. I need to see who's available for it. But we'll have some options. I think it's next week. Let me tab out for a moment. I need to check with DBD real quick. And I don't have Steam up. Steam. What was the one for DVD? Gotcha, thank you. Same one as your... Okay, so it's 28th. It's next week. I thought so, but I wanted to be sure. Alright, yeah, I don't know if it'll be DPD or Phasmo or Tabletop Simulator, what the case is. Maybe something else entirely. I'll have to see who's available, and I'll go from there. With that said, take care, Halflings. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see y'all on Saturday for the next stream. Bye-bye.